What's going on? Welcome to Lapeef Sports. Introduce the crew. We got Avon, Cal, Pink, Jay, Amber, Fuzzy, Sway. I'm Lapeef JR. Welcome to Lapeef Sports. What's going on, family? How y'all doing?
How y'all doing this Sunday, man?
Happy Sunday.
Oh, man, it's all good, man. It's all good. Happy Sunday, fellas, ladies.
Sunday.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Sun came out today. Eventually, it's gonna get warm, so it's looking like a lot like spring out there.
Sundress season almost here. Almost here.
Hey, before we get the show started, let me just put the housekeeping real quick. Make sure you guys get them likes up. Also, subscribe to the channel. Just in case you guys don't know, we are low on tickets. We are low on tickets right now. We are live in Houston, April the 23rd. Make sure you guys click that link that's pinned to the top of the chat right there. Go out and get your tickets. We are officially at the low count right now, so can't guarantee that you'll be able to get the opportunity to be a part of history and see us live in person, but you might want to go ahead and hop on it better early than later. Amen.
Amen.
There you go. Also, shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley, man. Make sure you guys go and click that link. Teej Hanley, Philly Teej. This is a dope product for men. Uncomplicated skin care for men. It's very important, fellas. We got to take care of our skin, especially with the weather conditions heating up. We're going to sweat. Our pores are going to get clogged. So we want to make sure we hop on it and get on that routine, that Teej routine. It's a morning routine and an evening routine. You feel free to, do something in the middle. But let's take care of our skin, man. Let's go ahead and click that link. Again, that's in the description. 30% off along with a free gift. Go ahead and hop on it. All right, Cal.
Yes. Again, good morning. Welcome. How y'all doing? Actually wanted to introduce, I like that Avon had a nice little idea. So every week, or weekend, our sports thoughts may get complicated on a Friday night, Saturday night, and we may not necessarily get to it. So I want to introduce Woke Up Mad, thought up by Avon D's, where, we get to kind of go off on a little 20 to 30 second tangent on what y'all woke up mad about this morning. Since Avon, this is your brainchild, I'd love to see if you could go first. How you feeling? I know you mad about something. Give it to me.
Bro, I'm okay in general, but I woke up mad about these Bulls. And yes, I know they won last night. I know they won. But they keep doing it, bro. You come down to the fourth quarter, all of a sudden, you just forget how to play basketball. You just start playing hard. I don't know what the problem is. And you got the bum Cleveland Cavaliers coming with you. You're up 15, you're up 16, and here you are at the end of the game fouling. You're down, only up 4. Like, this is what's pissing me off about the Bulls. It's not they have no killer instinct, bro. They don't know how to put their foot on somebody from there until they die. And it's going to catch up to them eventually in the playoffs. I'm done.
Been saying all year that the Bulls need some energy, some attitude. They need something. They don't do well against some of the better teams. I think playoffs are going to be starting here in the next, I want to say month and a half or something like that. So, you know, they got to win in order to keep themselves out that playing tournament.
Yeah.
And if you get to the playing tournament, I think they got to play like New Jersey maybe or something like that. And it would be looking real ugly if they had to get to that point. So I was just playing 2K last night, playing New Jersey, and got worked. So I already know it's not a good matchup for the Bulls. So,
okay, you play 2K is on Xbox or?
I'm on the PS5 actually. I got the a PS5 fell off a truck. I was able to get my hands on it. So,
watch out now.
But Hank, I talked to you. How you feeling again this morning? What you waking up feeling?
Man, I'm still mad Kentucky lost in the first round. I'm pissed about that. That's what I'm angry. I'm still angry. Every time I watch a basketball game, I'm still trying to figure out how do we lose in the first round. So that's why I'm pissed.
So are you rooting for St. Peter's now? How you feeling? Are you they on new team or you just mad all the way through?
Man, hey, you know something? We got a Sweet 16 party work. And guess who I drew for the Sweet 16 team? St. Petersburg. So now I got to root for them assholes in order to win some money. I'd at least win my money back because $100 a pop. So I got to at least win from to make it to the Final Four so I could double my money. So right now I'm rooting for them. I ain't got no choice. The same team that kicked my team's ass, I got to root for. It's ironic.
Man, I think I heard this morning that Coach Cal has the most wins over the course of the same. I think he had like 4 in a row, not wins, but Final Four appearances. Because I think they were giving out all the Coach K's and Tom Izzo's statistics, and I was surprised to see that Kentucky was way up there. And they said this is like one of the first years that Kentucky had a lineup that was older than 21. Like the majority of their guys were older than sophomores. So they're trying to say, clearly that having a bunch of upperclassmen ain't working out. So maybe you got to go and get him some more 18-year-olds to try to get him over the hump. So we'll see. I'm sure they'll bounce back. That's a blue chip program. So Jay, sorry to tell. Good morning to you again. How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. My situation is a little similar to Avon, man. With these Knicks, they just keep winning, man. I'm like, why you wait to the end of the season to go on a 6-game winning streak or 3-game win? Lose, fam. Get that draft pick. What are they doing?
Well, who you want them to go at with the? I don't know if you've been keeping up with the March Madness. It looked like there's a couple real solid players out there that's going to be coming out to the draft. So who you want them to go after?
Honestly, I would rather them get a good pick and trade it. You know what I'm saying? Because Julius Randle, I don't know what's going on, but he's too wishy-washy, man. I like Julius Randle, but he's just not who you want to have your team built on, man. He's too emotional.
Y'all can have Vooch.
He could score 5. He could score 5 straight baskets, 5 straight 3-pointers, and then somebody say something wrong to him, ejected. You know what I mean? So
for real, Jay, come get Jay. For real, come get Vooch, dog, because we're gonna beat his ass, man.
I'm good, man. I'm good on Vooch, man. And I like Vooch too, but just he's not what we need.
Well, good morning, ladies. Amber, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good. Does that have to be sports related?
No, it could be anything.
Talk to us.
I'm mad that I woke up this morning with 2 cats in my bed and not a man.
Bruh.
Hey.
Invest in cat and dog food, everybody.
Hey, I'm glad I don't have that problem.
Everybody got time for that.
I guarantee that was your decision and not any man's decision. I guarantee that.
Don't go, Aben. Are we gonna go there?
Somebody in them DMs, and you're like, seen.
Right. Hold on, Amber. Let us know your socials just in case. No. You know what I mean? If you're taking applications, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? At least kick one of them cats off the bed. It'll be all good. Okay, so tell us about the cats. And I guess how long you had them? How many do you have? You strike me as like a 4-cat kind of person.
So what had happened was, stop it, JR. What had happened was my son wanted a pet, and we didn't have the lifestyle for a dog. And so I went to Petco, going to get him a hamster last summer, and I saw this cat, and so I adopted her. And then my son was like, she needs somebody to play with, so then I adopted another cat. And I haphazardly became a cat lady. But they climb in the bed with me and not my son. And
What?
I don't want to talk about it.
I didn't want to get set you off to an emotional I know Cass can bring that out of you. So I had two cats myself that I did not want in my house. So I know how that can be.
JR.
You know, they don't do nothing but ask you for food in the morning and scratch up your furniture, and then you got to clean a kitty litter. I feel you on all of that.
Hair everywhere. They're moody. They don't do anything but just ignore you.
Mm-hmm. I feel you. I'm gonna keep you in my prayers on that.
Man, that sound like a woman.
Yeah, hey, look,
Hey,
best
for
thing
real.
that happened to me in the last 12 months. My son came to me
My bad, I'm
about
sorry.
a year ago and said to Dad, I'm allergic to cats. And do you know I wanted to hit the gritty. Like I just scored a touchdown in the end zone. I was like, yes, sir. Because my girl been like, oh, we need a cat. Cats are good for spiritual energy or whatever. I'm like, bruh, I don't like cats, man. And my son came through with the, Dad, I'm allergic. I'm just, yes, no cats will ever be in my house. Yes, sir. I hate cats.
Yes, sir.
I hate them.
Well, Fuzzy, first of all, again, welcome to the panel. Great to have you on this Sunday morning. How you feeling? What are you mad about this morning?
You know, I wake up just naturally happy. You know what I'm saying? I go to sleep naturally happy. I'm one of those naturally happy people because if I'm not, then you know, it's not good for anybody. So
Oh my God.
naturally happy. But I did wake up mad this morning because I have not been to a Bulls game this season. I'm really confused. I mean, usually I get tickets falling out the sky, but now I don't know what's happening here. I have not been to a Bulls game.
All right, sis, we going. All right. Is it?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's go, Fuzzy.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. It's because everybody else trying to go. You know, usually like when they not winning, they don't have a good team. Out here, it's tickets everywhere. But now since they winning, everybody's trying to go. And it's also something I said like everybody got season tickets. It seemed like, or either they got the ultimate hookup because I'm seeing people just out the blue at every single Bulls game. And I know the people that do have season tickets, but everybody trying to go. Everybody's trying to be there.
I have never bought a ticket to a sporting event ever. I just always go. You know, I have friends with season tickets. You know, I got connects. And I guess they using them this year. Like you said, Lapeef, this is crazy.
Yeah, you might have had to catch them Bulls tickets in the beginning of the season, back when they was more reasonable. Because once they start winning, and everybody saw DeMar DeRozan start killing, the price went way up. People were saving their tickets, and now they're just giving them away. Right now, the easiest ticket to get in town is probably a Blackhawks ticket at the United Center. So, but I don't know if that's your speed, Fuzzy. But 2022 might be the year you catch a hockey game, maybe.
And who knows? I might change my mind about dating white men if I found nice hockey men with no teeth.
They got some teeth, I think. I ain't never been to a Hawks game. I feel like it's kind of a bougier crowd than it was maybe 15 years ago. You know what I mean? But who knows? So, Sway in the morning, what's going on? I'll talk to you, man. How you feeling? What you mad about this morning?
I mean, honestly, I'm not really mad about anything.
There you are. You just said something about that cereal.
I'm not going to bring her up again.
Talk about the cereal.
Yeah, don't let her get violent on camera like that one guy did. Don't have it happen.
I guess I woke up and I found out that my girl puts she puts her milk before the cereal in the bowl, and it kind of got me a little bit frustrated. And then she had the audacity to act like me putting cereal before the milk is crazy. She's like, "What? You put the cereal in before the milk?" I was like, don't act like I'm the crazy one. She had a whole bowl of milk, and I was like, "Where's the cereal at?" She was like, "What do you mean?" They told me to say it.
Hey, I'm with your girl on this too. Okay, I can't drink no.
Yes, well, you ain't gonna make it through the show though.
I can't drink no whole after a little bit of cereal. Then you eat your 1,000 cereals, and you got a whole bowl of milk left that you just got to pick up and drink. I can't.
Hey, man, that's the best milk right there. Cereal milk, y'all.
Cereal milk, man. Somebody should put that in
all types of flavors. You ain't gonna never taste. You ain't gonna never be able to go to the store and buy some milk that tastes like that.
Well, at least we don't have to share.
Well, almond milk. I don't drink dairy milk. Almond milk.
That's true.
Like, what's the brothers on BMF? The BMF brothers. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know what, JR, you got a point though. That cinnamon toast crunch almond milk at the end, it do be hitting, but that ain't nothing with sugar.
Y'all know what y'all talking about, man.
Cereal.
I'm talking about that's like the ice. And sometimes I can't wait to get to the milk. I'm like, oh, the motherfucker like this.
I don't eat cereal and I don't drink milk.
Okay.
Man. Well, I'll end it off in terms of what I'm mad at. These Bears.
You skipped me.
Chicago Bears
JR.
in the off season is the only thing that continues to bring me sadness every single week. Okay, you got all these teams making these moves. You know, good teams getting better, bad teams trying to go all in for, you know, various pieces. And the only thing the Bears really of note have done is get rid of Khalil Mack. I do want to applaud that they got rid of Khalil Mack because his, you know, that man's production been down, but it's just been horrible. Every offseason, I'm waiting on the Bears to make a big splash, and every year they just let me down with, you know, plans of, I don't even know if they got plans for the draft. I don't know what they're going to do with offensive linemen. I think they went and got Juju Smith-Schuster, which I don't know if that's the move, but every week, you know, I'm an avid Bears fan, and they just let me down every single week, even in the offseason. I continue to be let down. So, you know, everywhere else is just about what I expected. The Bulls, I'm expecting them to be a playoff team, but not be all that formidable. I was expecting there to not be a lockout with the baseball season. So when that came back, I was, you know, kind of happy about that because I do want to go to a baseball game this year. But the Chicago Bears just bring me the most anguish pretty much 365 days a year. So.
All right, Cal. I don't know if you heard me, but you skipped me.
Oh, go, JR. How you feeling? What you mad?
Well, I was gonna say something else, but I'm mad at people who don't drink almond milk. I get it if you're allergic to almonds. That's a different story, but I do want to set the record straight right now on what the best almond milk is, because somebody in the chat, I'm trying to get to them. If you first taste almond milk and you drinking the vanilla silk, that's silk, that shit is nasty. If that's your first time drinking almond milk and it was silk, you would be highly disappointed. Y'all saying no?
No, that's what I had.
I do.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't know there was anything else.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put y'all on game. I'm about to put y'all on game right now. I uploaded the picture. It's kind of distorted, but almond breeze, vanilla, they have a 30-calorie one and an 80. The 80 I use for cereal. It's a little bit sweeter, but I use it for my smoothies. But the 30, and if you get the vanilla, this is the best almond milk. It's a complete difference from the silk. And I promise you guys, they're not paying me anything for this, but the shit is fat.
But oat milk is healthier, just so you know. Oat milk is healthier than almond milk.
Don't drink any of these oats, nuts, tree milks. They're terrible for the environment.
Exactly. It's all poison. But y'all go ahead.
They use so much water, bro. Y'all are terrible for the environment.
Okay.
I really want you to yell out your tagline. Just go ahead and say it. Eat your what?
Eat your veggies, bitch. Can't fuck that job. Fuck that job.
Hold on. What y'all say about almond milk? You said it's not good for the environment.
It's poison.
No.
And it's not good for the environment. All of it. All of it.
You use so much water.
I think I'm doing something good for myself.
Man, it ain't nothing good for you out here, man. No matter what you do, it's gonna always be a certain percentage of.
I can't eat shit. I can't drink shit. What can I do?
Terrible for the environment.
You gotta be here like Adam and Eve, man.
So you might as well just drink some milk and use a cow. Ain't nothing wrong with no cow milk.
It's so wrong with cow.
BG's immediately after the 2%.
My sister goes to a farm up here in Indiana, and because she's way more eat your veggies bitch than I am. But her husband, the kids, they go to a farm in Indiana and they get fresh cow milk.
If you get the fresh one that like goes out in like 3 days, then you're good with lactose.
Y'all got y'all going to mess with them Amish people up there, ain't y'all?
Exactly.
Yes,
I think they sell that in the stores too, but it might just be expensive.
Get that uncut shit, okay.
It goes bad in like 3 days, 3-4 days.
Still some of the funniest human beings on the planet. Spend some time with the Amish. They'll have you rolling, bro.
What is that Dave Chappelle skit? He's like Ezekiel. I think I'm weak, bro.
Man, well, we could go ahead and get started with today's show. So as we continue to kind of move through the international conflict that's going on between Russia and Ukraine, that still has Brittney Griner in a bit of a situation where her still being in custody. So far, I know that she's gotten contact with some, of her American representatives. So we know that she's at least alive and safe. But outside of that, it's still a very long road. And then recently, Lisa Leslie was on a podcast, and she was speaking on how a lot of WNBA players and likely a lot of sports athletes in general have been told to not necessarily post a lot of social media, showing support of her or, demanding answers and whatnot, to avoid her becoming a political pawn, to probably avoid her life being in more danger than what it is. So what do you guys think about that? Is that kind of an overreaction to have public figures not come out in support of Brittney Griner during this situation of hers? It seems like everyone would naturally believe that they want her to return safely and, just her not be in any kind of danger and her life not be in danger. So it seems like not necessarily something that would be controversial, but for someone like Lisa Leslie to feel like she can't make a social media post demanding her be safe, that seems like an overreaction maybe on America's part. So what do you guys think on that?
My question was, I wonder what they're doing silently, because I can somewhat understand why they don't want to do the hashtags and make it more than what it is, kind of almost like what they did with the Asian girl when she made that comment about the consulate over there, or the governor in China. She got missing for like 20 days. And then when she popped up, she had a whole different story. So for that reason, you don't want to kind of put her, like you said, in imminent danger. I think her situation, man, is unfortunate because of the timing. Like if this was any other time, this probably would have been resolved already. But the fact of the timing that it happened, they have to play chess. And this is a way of playing chess. I just wonder what they're doing silently. You know what I'm saying? I wonder who's speaking on her behalf or who's making phone calls, but I understand the social media hashtag because that stuff spread like wildfire. Next thing they know, like, aha, we got something, we got some leverage. So I understand that.
I'm hoping, I don't know if y'all seen the new episode, season 2 of Atlanta.
Yeah, I was just watching it last night.
I'm just hoping she over there in a cushy jail. I'm hoping that she's comfortable.
Gulag is not fun. The gulag is not fun.
So I hope she ain't on, these prisons like I see on Netflix or, any other, world's worst prisons. I'm sure she can handle herself, but still. So I understand going to jail. I've been there before, but I hope she okay. But it's bogus as hell.
Yeah, it's been reported that she is currently sharing a cell with 2 other English-speaking inmates, and those 2 English-speaking inmates are also being held on drug-related charges in that country and don't have any prior convictions otherwise. They're not Americans, they're just English speakers, but they're all kind of sharing a cell and they're all in there for the same reason. So, I mean, clearly, Russia's doing a no tolerance policy in regards to anything like that. And they found her to be in quote unquote good condition, Griner, that is. So in terms of having an update, I mean, that's really the most, I guess, we Americans can expect to get out of Russia. She's safe, we're feeding her, and she's not underground, you know what I mean? So outside of that, we really can't expect them to give us anything else. I don't know, though. I've always been, over these past couple weeks, just confused on how her particular situation could escalate anything internationally outside of the news. I realized that given that America isn't so involved compared to some of the other troops for Russia and Ukraine, it seems odd that it will become a distraction. But at the same time, if her family has signed off on saying, we don't necessarily want to play this out in the news, then we just got to go with that. But I've always kind of just felt like, the kind of an overreaction to say, if everybody keeps quiet, she'll eventually get released. I always thought that if everybody keeps quiet, we'll forget that she's there. And then we'll just be so confused or so focused on the war that we'll forget that Brittney Griner is even over there. So I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Man, we act like his chick is innocent. All these some trumped up charges. This shit ain't, man. Man, look, she was wrong. Now she got to face the laws of the land. I mean, that's hands down. She's got to face the laws of the land. Ain't nothing we can do about it, man. They're not going to not publicly negotiate with them. Now, like you said, the back channels, yeah, they probably will. But like you said, them other two English speaking, is anybody arguing and fight for them? Anybody putting up a fuss for them?
Yeah,
Are we doing it just because of her notoriety?
What about
something isn't
LeAngelo
right,
Ball?
though, because I'm quite sure there are a lot of ball players and NBA players and professional athletes who have broken laws, and the organization didn't ask their playmates or the public to not speak on it. That's just the only thing that doesn't seem right, that the NBA or the WNBA is asking the other players to not really make a big fuss. That doesn't seem right to me. But Jay may be right. There may be something going on the back end, but I've never heard an organization like the NBA telling people not to talk about it. That's what don't seem right to me.
Well, I'm gonna say you again, the same thing like they did with the China situation. You don't want to mess up no money.
Man,
There's some money. There's some money going on, exchange to being exchanged at hand with this situation, just like it was in China. You're not gonna mess that up. You got some Russia. You got players from Russia. I mean, they come to the United States, play the NBA too. So don't be surprised. They're not gonna publicly push this issue.
Do you think because she's not important enough, or because she's a woman?
No, I don't think it's none of that, because, like I said, I think it's about money. It has nothing to do with that. I mean, because there was some issues with the situation with China about money and labor law, slavery, and kid slavery. So if they don't deal for those kids, which makes they going to do a grown ass woman who broke the law? Nah, I don't think so.
And just add a little context from a political standpoint, Russia and America, they do not have any kind of relationship, let alone a negotiable relationship.
There's no reason.
Yeah. So, so on top of that, and she's a woman of color, she's a Black woman, and she is, she's part of the LGBTQ community. And Russia is not for any of those things. They have very strict laws against, her sexual orientation, very strict laws against any kind of cannabis. And, she's a Black woman. So I don't know if they got laws of the land, but I'm sure when she's walking down the street at 6'9", she's not necessarily getting high fives from people, outside of maybe coming off the basketball court. So it's going to be a tough challenge for sure, just on a lot of different fronts. And I mean, Russia does have a lot of leverage, even as we're keeping it quiet. They still, have all the power in this particular regard. So I'm sure the back channels are hot, trying to at least keep her safe. But I mean, Hinky, right. She did violate the laws of their land, even though she's probably been going back and forth with that stuff in her luggage all these years since she's been on the team. She should have known that as the political climate got a little more heated and hectic out there, she should have tightened up how she was moving. So, I guess it's just a kind of a wait and see situation, but hopefully she remains safe. Hopefully she's out maybe by the fall or by the end of the summer. I really don't know how they're going to pull this off. So maybe it's all contingent on how the war is going. But I guess we'll just wait and see.
Man, look, what Dave Chappelle say, Black people make bad hostages, bro. Like Dave be pointing out so many things that are obvious but makes it funny. What value does she have to anybody right now involved in the decision-making process? Like, I'm just to give you some perspective, whatever, right? The guy who's the number 2 in Russia, he's the head of the military. He disappeared for 20 days. No one saw him. Everybody's like, now this is a dude who has access to the red button. The we all gonna die button. He disappeared for 20 days. You think they were they worried about what we got going on with Brittney Griner? You know what I mean? Like there's a hierarchy of priorities right now going on. We don't even talk to the Russians right now. We don't even talk to them. So like how we look, oh yeah, by the way, we got this big 6'8" chick that wanted to get her in your country in jail. Can y'all handle that? Come on, man. Come on. It's common sense. She's not in an important place right now. And quite frankly, no one here, the reason why they're telling them not to post nothing is really telling you to shut up because we can't do nothing about it. Like what do you want them? I said this last week. What do you want them to do? We cannot send. This is where we will start watching too many memories. We think we're gonna send over like some master negotiator to, do a Jedi mind trick on the jailer and get her out of jail or something. And we're gonna send SEAL Team 6 in to shoot up the jail and sneak her out like it's fucking Iron Eagle or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, it's just not in the hierarchy of needs right now. It's not a priority. Handle your time. You shouldn't have did what you did. We'll holler at you in the world when them two people done shooting at each other. It is what it is.
Well, all right, go so.
I think somebody said it earlier that it's an inconvenience of the time. If it was any other time, maybe it probably would have a little bit smoother. I mean, years ago, LiAngelo Ball got caught up, I think in China, stealing or something, and I think they chop people's hands off if you steal in China. So he ain't nothing happened to him. President Trump got him out. Or it might have been Japan. I don't know. It was an Asian country. But
she should be very happy she's sitting in a Russian jail
right
now,
the convenience.
The Chinese one.
Well, I'm just saying, like
China, they shoot you for smuggling drugs. Not like we just gonna hold you for 20 years and make your life miserable. No, we're gonna walk you out to the courtyard and put one in your dome. It's a wrap. She should be very happy she's in a Russian jail right now.
Well, like I was saying, like it's just really inconvenient of the time, and as you were saying, like the importance of her. I mean, if she does end up becoming a bartering chip, I mean, what would they barter for? It's probably going to cost more lives than one. So it's probably going to try to have something with the Americans either not being involved anymore or pulling out or not helping or whatever the case may be, and it's going to cost more lives than just her own. So these decision makings, you were saying that they can't really do anything other than nothing to help her right now, I mean, that's probably honestly the best choice, because how many people else would die because we trying to get one chick out? It's really just inconvenient.
And not only that, you gonna make the taxpayer pay for this? That's a problem. It ain't like the parents or her wife and her family's gonna flip this bill. They're not. Taxpayers gonna have to pay for this. You think they're gonna negotiate with the world? It's gonna cost them a lot of money to get that girl up out of there. It's gonna cost them a lot of money, and I don't know if the taxpayers are willing to pay for it if they actually know how much it's gonna cost.
And I agree, Amber, what you were saying. Like, I've never seen anything like this where they were telling everybody not to say anything. But do you understand why they are saying that, though?
No, I don't.
It's almost like, and this might be a crazy analogy, but it's almost like, all right, like when your child was younger, you ever notice how like a baby will fall and they'll look at you first to realize whether to cry, and depending on how you react, you know what I mean, they'll but if you chill there with a straight face, they won't, and they'll just bust their ass, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of compare it to that. It's like, if you don't make a stink about it, they won't know that they have something. So that's what I think the point of it is, because they really do have something. Like, she's important to a culture of people, you know what I mean? So, and it's just terrible timing at the same time. It's terrible.
It is.
I mean, the timing could be why she's going through it in the first place. I mean, again, I imagine that she probably been doing this for years, just kind of going back and forth and moving at her own, leisure, at her own, she wants to move pretty much, especially between out there in Russia, where you would imagine, she might have some leeway given who she is. She probably one of the more recognizable people in the country, given her size and whatnot. So who knows, man? It's a real bad situation for her. I mean, even though she broke the law out there, I kind of feel for her. She got to be out there fairly alone. I don't even know what her lawyer situation's like or how they're actually treating her day to day. She's been out there since February, and it'll be, April coming up here. So it can't be an easy situation. She about to do Jesse Smollett numbers out there. So, it's been kind of tough, but again, hopefully, she
already got Jesse beat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's gonna get there either way. So
look, man.
One quick thing. Some years back, one of my girlfriends went to Abu Dhabi and Dubai to teach. right? And she like, Fudge, you got to come out here as soon as I go. I was like, well, let me know when you're leaving. And she was like, oh, I just got the call. I'm leaving next week. And at that time, I used to smoke weed, wake and bake, smoke all day. I used to smoke. And I was like a late bloomer. So
Hey, but why you shaking your head so hard, bro?
I live this life. I'm high right now. Shit, what you mean?
Oh my God.
So what happened was I was like, oh man. So I started doing a little research. It's no weed. You cannot smoke over there. You know what I'm saying? Or you're going to go to jail. Now they also chop people hands off in the UAE. So you don't play. So now I'm like, okay, I got to get clean and sober. I cannot smoke over there. You know, you can drink. You can go to the liquor store. You get like a liquor license, like you get a fishing license, costs like $15. But, you know, as long as you use cash, you're good. So anyway, for the month or so that I was over there, I just started smoking what they had. They had these strong hookahs and cigarettes or whatever it was. All I know is I felt higher than the weed. And I didn't get my arm chopped off, and I'm not in jail. But while I was over there, a couple of Canadian chicks, they got caught with a joint. I don't even know if they home yet. That was like 2017. I don't know. It's 2022. I'm gonna have to look into that. They don't play with no drugs over there. They do not play, you know. So it's just like you see all these rappers and stuff going to, you know, Abu Dhabi and Dubai and all this other stuff. Now they can get away with it, but regular person you cannot. I'll still be in jail over there.
Man, so do social media hashtags even have an impact internationally? Like we can, you know what I mean, protest until we blew in the face for Brittney Griner to be let out. But I mean, would Russia even care about something like that, or would
Russia don't care about shit?
Not a damn thing. No, you remember? You know what this? Go ahead, Amber. Go ahead.
I mean, it clearly does. The NBA are telling them not to say anything. So clearly, the court of public opinion carries heavy weight. For whatever reason, this organization telling people to be quiet. I've just never seen that before. During freedom of speech, you're literally breaking, if you want to go deep into it, a constitution telling people not to advocate. If my girl was in Russia in jail and you tell me to be quiet, why?
I'm cool if it's about getting the outcome. You know what I mean? If you want to move like lasagna, you know, G's move in silence, do that. That's cool. But actually do something when given that opportunity to move in silence. Don't just try to shut people up and then get no results. And I think that's what people are really fighting is like, if y'all want us to shut up, are you just trying not to get the results? Try to, whatever the case may be.
Why?
But I'm cool if they're trying to move in silence and actually get a result. If that actually helps you and you're actually doing something and it's, you know, doesn't entice a bigger bounty on her head, quote unquote, then that's fine. But if you are just trying to placate, you know, the country to fit whatever narrative that has no results in getting her out, then that's where we argue. It's like, we're not going to shut up just because you want us to try to, you know what I mean? The whole end goal is to get her out. And I was saying, if we don't feel that that's what you're doing, then we're going to rebel against it. And I think that's why people are so outraged right now, because our government has a tendency to shut us up and then not give us the results we want. So
I look at it this fuzzy, like you said, you did the research. You did exactly what a smart and logical person should do. You did the research before you went over there to know the laws, to know what you can do, what you can't do. You did that. What dumbass person who's on her staff, who's on her management team, who's in her circle is not telling her about the research of the land she's going to? See, that's a problem. Soon as she get home, she need to fire everybody who's in her circle. Everybody. From her accountant, her manager. Man, fire your friends. You may have to fire your damn wife if you have to. Let her ass go. Because somebody didn't tell her silly ass what she should have did. I'm serious, Amber. Ain't no sympathy here from me. None. Her dumb ass went over, broke the laws of the land. Now she got to suffer the consequences. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for anybody in the States when they get some old silly ass marijuana charges. Ain't nobody showing no sympathy for their ass. Ain't nobody talking about free such and such. Bullshit, man. Bullshit.
Was she over there before the war?
Yes, she was.
Yeah. That's a part-time job.
She's over for a couple years doing this. This ain't her first year over there.
Well, I'm saying like
part-time job.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like I feel like she's done it before and gotten away with it before, but the inconvenience of the time.
Victim of circumstance.
That's what I said on the last show. She's clearly done this before.
Yeah.
She's clearly gotten past this before. It's like, what did he say? She's on the wrong side of history right now.
Right. And here's the thing, right? The State Department told them folks to go to fuck home. They told them to go home. But you want to look, if it's time to go home, that's what she got caught trying to go home. She wasn't just chilling playing basketball and they rolled up on her on some like stop and frisk. She was trying to go home. Why would you take the pants home? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like but the thing is that I said this last week, is she's used to getting her wet. And now she's on the wrong side of history and they're going to use her as a pawn because these are regular people. They have real world stuff going on. And quite frankly, she's just a regular person that they're going to use as a pawn. They like right now they're negotiating things like which spies to swap and how many troops that are POWs. Like they don't give a damn about no 6'8" basketball player, man. You are your value to you. She has no value to anybody at the table discussing important things. Period.
Hey, I'm like this. Y'all, look, if the WNBA and NBA, if they want to start this movement, go ahead. If you're gonna make a situation worse than it is, I hope that shit is gonna fall in your conscience. So, but if you want to do something, go ahead and do it. Nobody's going to stop you. You have the freedom of speech. Say what you want to say, print what you want to say, go out and make public appearances and do all it. But if our situation get worse than it is, you got to look at yourself and remember, man, we probably should have sat back and did what we should have did. We should have let it alone, let the back channels handle what they need to handle, and go from there. But hey, get a fund me account started, pay for Lynn Nielsen to go over and get her ass out, and she'll be fine. She'll be partying and be ready for the season the next.
I'm generally just tired of hashtag campaigns in general when it comes to things like this. Y'all remember Coney? Joseph Coney is still roaming the Congo with child soldiers, fam. And y'all sat up there for maybe not 6 months, about 6 weeks. Find Coney, go get Coney. You remember that bullshit? I was in college at the time when that happened. And I had grown ass 18, 19-year-old white kids in classrooms telling me, I'm gonna do something about this. And what they were gonna do is post it on fucking social media and then go get drunk the rest of the night. That's what they were gonna do. You know what I mean? I get tired of these hashtag campaigns where, you know, we're going to go out and do something and then everybody it's like with the Ukraine thing, because everybody gets caught up in the wave, right? If you watch social media and you look at the news right now, you would think Ukraine's the good guy. There's always got to be a narrative. There's a good guy and a bad guy. I woke up this morning to Twitter to watching Ukrainian soldiers putting 45 slugs through Russian soldiers' knees, prisoners, people who had already surrendered. You know what I mean? Like these aren't two very nice people, organizations having a war over there. So this whole thing about we're going to start hashtag campaigns to solve problems, this problem that she's entangled in is a lot bigger and a lot uglier than the situation she's in, and she's going to have to ride this shit out.
And the top 3 rules, man, you never let the money go down, man, if you can afford to. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got 5 people, the money is never the one, you know, the one who's paying everybody's bills is never the one who's supposed to take the fall, if that is the case. So, you know, it was definitely negligent.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why did she like my man Chris Paul had, why didn't she have a fall girl, a fall guy? Said that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Why didn't she have that?
Because it's Russia.
Right. Nobody's going to jail in Russia.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Somebody should have been a fall guy. They know the fall guys know their job. You're going to have to take the dive. We'll take care of you and your family. Don't mess up the bag.
And I think it was like Jules Santana. That's why I think it was just negligence. I think it was just you walk in the airport and like, damn, I got that in my bag. You know, I think it was one of those situations. Not, I get through here all the time, I'm going to get through here now. I think it was probably just negligence.
Man, well, I'm sure that story will continue to develop. Hopefully it won't be like another month, 3 weeks to a month before we get another update, just with another picture of she's still alive. So, you know, with the war and everything going on, that's probably at the very bottom of their priority list, but it's on there nonetheless. So I guess we'll just see how that goes. In the meantime, we can move on to the next topic. So, and y'all have all seen the thumbnail in regards to today's show. Female sports journalists. First of all, are they really needed in the sports space? You know, if is a female sideline reporter giving me anything more than what a male sideline reporter is going to give me? When we turn into some of our favorite sports shows, does the host of every single show have to be a woman? You know, and what impact, if any, is it really bringing? I mean, last year we saw, you know, a nice little controversy between Rachel Nichols and Maria Taylor, and they both ended up leaving ESPN for other opportunities. So in the grand scheme of things, what impact did that whole story and that whole controversy, did that have any impact on the sports world at all? You know, what value do female sports reporters really bring in the grand scheme of the sports world, if any?
I'm gonna let
I'll speak on this. Amber, you go first.
No, but you gotta leave early. You take the stage, sis, because I feel strongly about this. You go ahead, sis.
You know, when I turn on TV and I see a beautiful woman, and especially a beautiful Black woman on TV talking about sports, I'm not gonna lie, I check her out from head to toe. Let me check it for wig, because they usually have on wigs. Wig check, okay, you know, makeup, nice little fit. I am like beyond fucking proud. Like, I'm excited. I don't care what the bitch talking about. Really, I don't. I'm sure she know what she's talking about because she on TV talking about it. I don't know what I'm talking about. But what I do know is that I'm excited to see the representation. I'm excited to see young women on TV talking about sports in this male-dominated field. It is hard for us to. It is 2022. It's 2022. I've been a host for about 15 years. One of my homeboys doing an event. I said, why isn't all men hosts? You know what he texts me? But I love you though. You know what? Fuck y'all and fuck y'all event. And I ain't coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of seeing men after men. I'm tired of going to shows and it's a man on the mic. I'm tired. I love y'all though, but I'm tired. And seeing these women is refreshing for me.
So then let me ask you a follow-up question.
Yes.
When it comes to putting an event together, and you're like, put yourself in a man's shoes, do you put a woman as the host because you want just to have a pretty face? Or do you put a woman as the host because you know someone who, or you know that she knows what she's talking about in whatever event that is? Because a lot of times the stereotype is, oh, she just up there because she's cute. You know, I feel like Molly Karama, ESPN's First Take, runs into this a lot, that people get annoyed with her quickly because, oh, she's just eye candy. And then they have a whole, you know, host of different women coming in to host for them. They're all very beautiful women. And so people just say, well, you need a pretty face just to have some balance, versus she's been in sports since college. She knows what she's talking about. She was at the NFL Network and she was at all these other places. So you as a female, do you just want to be up there, or does it matter why they have you?
You know, we need to get to know each other a little bit better. But I like that question, you know, and I'm sure me and Amber deal with this a lot in her profession. I can't help it. I'm this fan. I'm fan as hell. I can't help it. I'm like Halle Berry fan. I can't help that. I can't help that I'm still smart, intelligent, and very good at what I do. I would still be good at what I do if I was ugly, but I can't help it. I'm this fucking fan. So if you want to think it's eye candy, I know Amber get this. Like, if you want to think I'm just up here because they was like, oh, she fan. So fan have got me in a few doors, but it ain't got me far enough.
Can I respond to that?
Yes.
You ever seen an ugly woman on ESPN?
My point exactly.
Ramona Shelburne.
Yeah, they got a few rough things there. But
let me. This
thing. Yeah, they got a handful of 5s and 6s laying around there, and they're usually saltine Americans. But it's just, you know, come on. Like, I don't want any woman to ever feel like there's no door she can't walk through, but I want her to acknowledge that it's easier to get through the door when you look a little better than the rest of them. That's all I want you to acknowledge.
I mean, that's the whole point.
And the thing is, it wouldn't be smart to utilize that. I mean, for a long time, sports has had women up there, but they've been Ramona Shelburne, you know, and they noticed that, okay, you bring a Kari champion in. I know I liked First Take a little more when Carrie Champion was on there. You know what I mean? I look forward to it every morning. I love Steven and Skip, but it's good to have a beautiful woman to look at while you getting your sports. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So they were smart to do that. And I think what has changed is that you'll actually have beautiful women, because for a long time you'll bring up a beautiful woman and she wouldn't know anything about sports. Now they are knowledgeable. They may not be out there, calling the plays. You remember the comment Cam Newton made, about she running a route. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. Even if you think that, don't say that, fam. So I think now they're beautiful and they know their sports, so I'm fine with it. And I know it runs the ratings up. You know what I'm saying? Beauty run the ratings up.
I don't like that people complain about like that. Like say like this. I doubt you guys saw this, but it was on this like G4 or whatever, this gaming channel, and this girl, this L girl, she started complaining about this whole beauty standards and whatever about and for the female host or any female like thing. I'm like, I don't know why y'all complain about an audience that is male dominated, like off the charts, not even around 50%, like 70, 80, 90+%. And y'all complaining about what sells to men on a male dominated channel. We don't do that when it's a female dominated channel. They be talking about cutting our dicks off and they just laugh about it. We don't say shit. And it's like, we don't say nothing when it's just their channel and they got their own space and they can do whatever the hell they want. When we get to our space and what makes us money, or our network's money, they over here talking like we can't have fine women as the host. Like, we want to see fine women while we our hobby. If it's sports, if it's video games, if it's bowling, whatever it is, we want some fine women around to bring the ambiance all together. That's all I'm saying. So I truly hate that so much.
You know what? This played out actually here about 3-4 years ago in Chicago. There's a guy who does sports talk radio here, Dan Bernstein or whatever, right? And he was talking about there's a chick there's a lady that does weather on one of the local stations here, and on the radio station, he kept talking about her big giant breasts, and like they eventually came at him about it or whatever, and he had to apologize for it, but. You think that the guy that hired her didn't know she had big old breasts and thought she would look awesome, telling you that there was a tornado coming right now? It could have been Bob that's sitting in accounting right now, who's picking his nose. No, they wanted, I think her name was Megan. They wanted Megan with the big boobs to tell you if it's going to be cold in Chicago today. And she knows it. Everybody in the equation knows it, but we just can't say it. And that's the BS about it.
Let me ask a question, playing devil's advocate. Who said that we need that, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, according to who do we need, a woman like Taylor Rooks, fellow Illini alumnus, so shout out to her. Who said that we need her to, be looking beautiful every time she show up when it comes?
I don't need big boobs, but they're nice to have. And if there's an option,
really?
Bruh. Hey, you can look back and let me stop. I'm gonna look, but like we know that we can get Bob from accounting to read us the weather report, but more of us will watch if it's Megan with the big old D's. That's how 60-70% of marketing in this country is based around sexual attraction. You buy a sports car because you want to get laid. You buy a nice watch because you want to get laid. You buy a 5-bedroom house up on the lake because you want to get laid. Everything that they advertise to men has something to do with either sex or sports. This is nothing new. They've been doing it since the 30s, man.
Can I speak now?
Yeah, Amber, go ahead. I see the steam off you. Go on, hit it.
First of all, shout out to my sister Fuzzy, my media sister, my fellow 40 under 40 professional women league sister, my fellow blonde sister. But you see the steam because the truth is, men don't see value in women in photojournalism. I'm sorry, I'm a photojournalist and sports journalism, except to be props. These women are props. think about models. What is the most prestigious thing you can do as a model? Be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. When you look at cars, what do you lay on top of the car? A woman in a bikini. As a woman who experienced this in the photography world and photojournalism, I experienced this and still am experiencing this. That beauty does get you in the door. And just like Fuzzy says, have I benefited from, opportunities given to me based on my looks? Absolutely. But I've also experienced not getting opportunity because I was deemed as a possible distraction. I have, in photography, it's male dominated. And I've heard over the years that they feel the only reason I've given opportunities, not because of my work or lack thereof, is because I'm a woman or because I'm a Black woman. I'm a light-skinned Black woman. I'm a light-skinned Black woman with big titties. I'm a light-skinned Black woman with big titties and an ass. Not because my work speaks for itself. So let's just be real. These women are props. Like you put a plant next to a desk to make the ambiance better. Because the numbers never lie. When it comes to women in sports journalism and broadcasting, the ratio from men to women is 43-1 across the board in all sports.
Yep.
It's just, it is what it is. On my end, it's not fun. It's not fun when I understand their frustration when you are passionate about your craft. These women went to school to study journalism, to be a contribution to whatever program, to want their voices heard. And of course, like Fuzzy said, they don't get mad at them for their parents fucking and they came out fine, right? There's nothing you can do about it. Don't penalize them for being beautiful. Women don't mind being admired for their beauty, but where we draw the line in the sand is when we are being minimized or dismissed or just being felt as objects to get your dick wet while you hear about sports. Well, we didn't go to school for that. I'm done.
Go ahead, Fuzzy. I know you got to follow. Go ahead.
I want to go.
I know all you guys, everyone here are probably entrepreneurs, professional business people. This guy sometime back hit me and he was like, hey, I see what you're doing out there, blah, blah, blah. Let's have a lunch meeting. Great. Let's have a lunch meeting. From this day forward, I don't take no lunch meetings. We can Zoom, we can FaceTime, we can do whatever, and I'm going to send your ass invoice before. So we go, I get there, and he's like, but I was familiar with him because as Amber know, I used to do these events, networking events back in the day, so I was already familiar with him, didn't know him too well, but cool. Go to the lunch meeting, and I'm like, okay, let's talk, order a couple of appetizers, let's chat. He's like, I'm going to fuck you, right? I said, who, me? Like when? Like now? Are we going to do it now? Or are we going to go to the bathroom? I'm like, how's this going to work? First of all, sir, who said that I will fuck you? Like, what did you, this why I came to lunch for? This is why? Like, I'm just like so sick of the shenanigans. Needless to say, I ran up the bill. You know what I'm saying? I ate good. I ate dinner for lunch that day. Ain't talked to him again. Seen him a few times in the streets. Act like I ain't even see him. Like he like, hey Fuzzy, how you doing?
So let's say he didn't say that, right? And then he wanted you to be a part of an event. Let's say
they never do. I ain't made no money from a man in so long. I make money with my sisters like Amber. I don't make no money from men. Never. Women give me money. I make money from women. Men is not my audience. They just want to fuck. And if they do throw business in it, you best believe it's still fucking. No, thank you. I'm good. I ain't made no money with no men. I make money with women. That's my audience.
So then I'll ask a follow-up. When you then see women in certain positions, which is male dominated, because we started out talking about like representation and how it's good to see a woman up, you know what I mean? Pretty much showing her professionalism. But at the same time, you imagine that she has to look a certain way and who knows, what her lunch meetings and afterwards might have entailed. So then when you see that woman Do you really see representation? You know, and do you think if you are that woman, do you feel like you represent a, you know, a certain community, or are you a one-off because of all these other variables that play into it? If you find you got all the attributes and you're down to do whatever you got to do to get to the position you're really in, is that really true representation in terms of the outside world?
She had to fight. She had to fight. So many doors closed on her because, I mean, did y'all see that video where, I don't know, the young lady, I think she's a rapper, the guy tried to take a picture and he rubbed her down, like, and she moved his hand up.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
You seen that? Mm-hmm. I get that every day. Every day. A man lick their lips and kiss me on the cheek. What, do you know what my skin regimen is, sir? Why would you lick your lips and kiss me on the cheek? I don't have to hug you. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm still getting molested. I'm about to be 44. Like, get back. I've never been molested, but I'm just saying. Like, relax.
You gotta be careful with that word.
Touch me. You don't have to grab me. You don't have to grope me. You ain't got to feel this ass. You ain't got to do all that. And I get it every single day.
You know, a couple years back, I was the media director for one of the largest Black-owned tech incubators. And I spearheaded a team of 12 men specifically. I was in charge of them, if you want to say that. The best editors, copywriters, videographers. Never had an issue. Never had to be like the head bitch in charge. This is typically how I operate. But I learned over time I had to be mindful of how I operated. I am naturally touchy-feely with anybody. Like, I'll touch you on the shoulder, like, hey, how you going? A friend pulled me to the side. He said, Amber, stop touching these men. And I said, why? He was like, it's sending the wrong message. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, do I need to write it out for you? I said, yes. He went to the whiteboard and wrote out touch equals she wants the D. And so, look, all your eyes got big, right? So with that, learning that, I had to operate differently. And almost to the point where I could have been perceived as being a bitch in those rooms, because I did not want nobody thinking I was flirting. I didn't want nobody thinking they had the green light. So if I saw somebody, you get the side hug or the church hug where, your booty's out so my chest don't press against yours, make sure even then I just dap them up. But as women, we have to make sure we operate in a very strict professional manner so we can be taken seriously, because beauty, for whatever reason, it can get you in the door. It ain't gonna keep you there.
I
see that's the thing.
I can agree that what you're going through is a real experience, and I can agree that it sucks. But the only issue I have is that if we flip it onto the man's side, where they're in a woman-dominated sphere, so let's say childcare, kindergarten, daycare,
CPS educator sitting right here,
whatever it, given Brazilians or gynecologists, whatever the field is, it's like they still have to go through the same discrepancies. They still have to also live in reality that you're in a field where you might not be seen as comfortable around there. You might have to get a bunch of recommendations just to even get one client, that you're a good dude. So like, it's the same way. I'm not trying to say that, like I said, you're going through a real experience, but it's just one of the natural things. If you're in a sphere that isn't your gender dominated, you might have to go through some hoops and hurdles because of certain reasons. Either for the men, you look at it as a P-file, or women, you guys are looked at as sex objects. If more beautiful you are, like you said, it might get you in the door, but it got you in the door a lot of people couldn't have gotten in, and now you got an opportunity. So like I said, you might have to move and adjust a little bit differently, because like you said, you can't touch a guy because he might think you want to smash. Cool, don't touch him no more. You know that now. It's like these are certain adjustments you might have to take, and precautions you're gonna have to know when you're in a male-dominated sphere, just for men if they want a woman-dominated sphere. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to down your experience, because I'm sure it's real and I'm sure it sucks, but it's just part of the life of being in these spheres, for men and women.
And I mean, the thing that sucks about it is that I know that the men that you're speaking about exist, because I get the result of their behavior. You know what I mean? Where I'll reach out to somebody who I actually need help from or assistance from. It's like, you trying to holler? Fuck no, I'm not trying to holler at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. You know what I mean? And it'll be simple stuff. And that's why, like, I do not hop in DMs, at all, because I feel like every woman, or even in public, if you see something, I'm sure you saw a few of the videos where this chick straight broke off the gas tank and the gas nozzle, and was driving around with the gas nozzle hanging out her car. The dude was just telling her, like, yo, you got this. She was like, I got a boyfriend. It's like, fam, you got a gas nozzle in your tank, so I know dudes like that. I know dudes that leverage, and I don't hang around people like that, like that'll leverage their profession, whether you do real estate, I can show you around to a few houses. It's like, I'm trying to smash you in a few of these houses. You have people that whatever field they're in, they'll lead with that and use that to leverage. So I know that exists. But like Sway was saying, it's just a reality that we have to deal with. I'm gonna continue to have to deal with women thinking I want to holler when I want to just know, yo, you a counselor. I'm doing an interview and I need some advice on how to handle this with care. You know what I mean? Like simple stuff like that. So,
and I'm sure if Fuzzy or Amber, you guys got two of the sexual spots going for you. It's not skinny, and skinny is not in no more. If y'all got those going, I'm sure the attention y'all have is on overdrive. So I know, like I said, I understand that y'all are probably super frustrated because the stuff that men desire is super overdrive on y'all, and you probably get it 99% of your time when you're dealing with men.
And I'm like skinny, but I got these. You know what I'm saying? So
you got what?
These boobs.
Oh, like I said, if something's situated, you probably have it on overdrive than most women. So,
but I mean, let's
be real.
I'm top heavy too, but no matter what, I mean, you men know, y'all see it. Like I said, y'all can ask the fact you can see it from the front. No matter what I wear, I could wear a hoodie, big ass hoodie. You're going to be able to see my figure. So, damned if I do, damned if I don't.
Well, let me ask another question. Why is it? And this is just devil's advocate. Why would women want to enter a space that's perceived as male dominated to be a reporter? So specifically, why would you, Amber, want to be a sideline reporter for the NFL? If you got all of these features, more than likely throughout your whole career, probably since college, you've been dealing with certain issues. So then when you find yourself in a certain position, why even, if it's something that's frustrating, why even put yourself in that position?
So a couple years ago, I got challenged. I actually started shooting for trainers for the Bears. Never did football photography a year and a half ago. Reason being because a male photographer, I was just on a football field one day, just taking pictures. Didn't know what the hell I'm doing. I still don't know football. But a black male photographer inboxed me like, why are you on the football field? Why is your pretty little stuff on the football field? That's not where a woman's place. My ego got stroked. I was like, bitch, challenge accepted. So what I did was I started researching football photography. I actually started harassing the head photographer of the San Francisco 49ers, a black man. I said, listen, I'm a photographer from Chicago. I just want to learn, what's the right way. He took me under his wing. And so then I started shooting at football, at high school football games. Then I started working with the trainers of the Bears. And so when I walked on that field, of course, like all eyes were on me because I was around a bunch of men. However, how I carried myself on that field was highly professional. And it was all because a man told me I was too cute to be on the fucking field.
Now I was going to push back on that. I feel you and I'm with you, but I'm going to push back a little bit. So the thing that motivated you, it wasn't a desire for football or your love of sports or anything like that. It was more to prove some man wrong, right? So and
my passion for photography, which makes me go back to the women who went to school for sports journalism, who went to school, stayed up late, did whatever they had to do to be in those positions just to be seen as eye candy. At first, yeah, he tested my ego, but at the end of the day, I had proven, and you can look at my work, to be one of the best football photographers, and I still don't know shit about football. I learned how to follow the ball with my camera.
I got one more question. And if this is inappropriate, let me know. Fuzzy. Now I know you was talking about the dude who, propositioned you or whatever for the lunch. Has that ever happened with a female?
No.
Because we in 2022.
You talk. Well, so
Yeah.
I have some very best friends who are lesbians, and I hang with them all the time. And I'm like, why none of y'all bitches ever try to talk to me? Not them, but like we'll go to events because they know I'm not a lesbian. They don't see me on their scene. They just know I'm not a lesbian. Even though I wear my hair short and now I just locked it up. No, women don't try to holler at me. Never had it happen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No.
Hey man, I guess hey, look, I was born in 1975. I'm an old head. I'm 46 years old. I can't look. Are they important? Are important role in female journalism and broadcasting? Yeah, but I'm that type.
Yes, sir.
I'm the type to say to see what I see, and if that's what's on there, they're gonna get my attention even more. I don't care. I tell you that I don't
They're
care.
props. You just confirmed they're props.
Thank you.
We have been confirmed that men view women as sex objects. That is a confirmation. That's reality. Like that's as much as reality as accepting racism, colorism, all them isms. Yes, they're never going to go anywhere. Sorry, I can't make up reality. I'm not going to tell you to live in a fantasy social construct and think people are going to be any different. It is what it is.
Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with eye candy, and don't give me no damn church hug.
So y'all think that like Malika Andrews, for example, does she elevate the NBA from a media standpoint? If let's say they took out Stephen A. Smith and replaced Stephen A. Smith with Malika Andrews, just on every single, she was the next host at First Take, and then she did all the NBA coverage, and then let's say they brought in another female, you know what I mean? If we're still just talking sports, would we even notice? And would it have the same impact? Would it be as popular if it was all female run? If it's all eye candy and men love a beautiful woman at every turn, then why isn't it all women?
Well, men aren't the only people who watch sports. Women watch as well. I watch sports because to see these fan-ass men running up and down the field, sweating, glistening, that's the first reason why I watch sports. Let's just say that, okay? And then everything else afterwards.
And then you got to think. So,
shout out to the big body men.
Realistically, ESPN.
I don't like skinny men though.
Like ESPN and those are Hank. Those are male dominated arenas. Typically, sports is dominated by males. So if you're bringing a female into a male arena, there's a reason you're doing it. Just like if you take men and put them in a female arena, like, Essence or one of those Fox Soul shows, men are usually buff, dark skinned, oiled up, with their props in those arenas. So, we use each other, even though we don't go through the same experiences as far as like what y'all was saying y'all deal with as far as the judgment and, dudes coming at y'all. When you put a male in a female dominated arena, he's eye candy. I'm sure whether it be the call center or it be the office, like a call center. I use as a perfect example. I worked at a call center. Of course, it was way more women than men. So we was snacks in there. The women was like, yo, who you got him? You got him. They was talking it out. And I was cool with a girl in there, so she would give me the tea on what they was talking about, so, but it was more of them than us. So we were the props in that situation.
Can I ask JR the obvious question?
Uh-oh.
Why did you decide to bring ladies onto Lapeef Sports?
I fan ass, as a matter of fact. You could have bought anybody. It's plenty bitches on Instagram, okay?
Because y'all like sports.
Right.
How many women like sports? Probably like 10%. Actually, if they're not with their man, they watch it on their own. like 10%. Y'all don't even watch WNBA. Come on now.
True, I don't watch. I didn't start watching the WNBA until the Chicago Sky was in the championship,
Exactly.
and they won, and it was just hyped up. I'm gonna be very honest. I
Me
wasn't checking for the WNBA.
No one's checking for the WNBA.
Huh?
I said nobody is checking for the WNBA, man or woman. That's why Brittney is in Russia right now. Shit.
But I mean, Amber, it would be okay if JR said, y'all are beautiful women, so I wanted that, to come on, bring out some balance. But you stay, and we invite you back because of the things you say. If you just come up on here and you just
absolutely,
you're just cute, but you're not really adding anything,
then
eventually
opportunity.
Like, why she here?
You got the opportunity because you look good, and then now you had to bring some substance to stay around.
Well, wait, so it's look first, and then it's substance later.
No, but I think that what he said just hits to the heart of the matter of this, right? The women want to be taken serious regardless of what they look like, right? The men, if they're going to interact with these women, want it either to be two ways: that that you're good to look at, or B, you know what you're talking about. It's like you go to the Super Bowl party every year, and there's women there, and one of them sitting next to you on the couch, and she could say two things to come out of her mouth. She was like, "What's the score?" And you're like, "Oh, the score." I was like, "Oh, their defense is snapping right now." You're like, "Oh, okay." She knows what she's talking about. Or she's sitting next to you, and all of a sudden she, they score a touchdown. She's like, "That was a great home run." You're like, "Oh, for fuck's sakes." You know what I'm saying? You don't want to sit nowhere near for the rest of the damn Super Bowl, because I'm one of them weirdos that actually still watches the game, apparently. So I think when it comes to how we as males relate to women in that space, you guys have to at least feel two things. Either you have to know what you're doing or be nice to look at, right? And I don't think women should be upset about that standard. You know what I mean? Because, you can't be a man and have those two options. You can't be ugly and dumb on ESPN. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't. You can't. So at least acknowledge that it's going to bring side issues that are going to complicate things. And I respect that. I definitely respect that. But at least we don't want to be beat over the head with the guilty stick of looking at what we're looking at and liking it. You know what I mean? Like, I got an acquaintance that's female that works in sports. She works very specifically with one certain sport. I'll say the sport is baseball. Her work is off the damn charts. It is fantastic. But I know she hasn't been advanced in that industry is because she doesn't feel a certain beauty standard. You know what I mean? So it's women can complain about it, but it's gonna be a civil war, because half of y'all that's ugly gonna be half catching feelings with the other half who ain't. Because the half who are they gonna get progress? And that's just the unfortunate truth of where like what was Jay was talking about, the whole thing about working in an environment where it's mostly women. I dealt with that all the time in Chicago public school. I've gotten job opportunities just because I was the only damn man in the room and I happened to look halfway decent. I'm not complaining about that. I saw this 47-year-old dusty principal get all excited when I walked in. You think I wasn't going to exploit that for a check? Absolutely. Absolutely, I'm going to exploit it. I think women just need to stop feeling, man, look, bro, when you are in a Chicago public school building and you are a male and you are actually in the classroom, it's probably like one of y'all in every building. And just like Jay said, them teachers huddle up in a damn room and probably got odds going on the board of who gonna smash first. They're just as grimy and sexual as we are in the same damn inverse environment. Who's fucking Mr. Deese this week? Who can do it? That's exactly what they was doing in those rooms, and they take no shame in it. So I'm not gonna sit there and ever feel guilty about leveraging that for my benefit.
Well, Fuzzy, before you get up out of here, let me leave you with a question, and if you can answer right before you dip. So, when it comes again to representation, I really want to get to the bottom of this. Is having a beautiful woman in that role, if we want to semi-agree that they're glorified props, let's say, is having a person in that role true representation? Then isn't really Ramona Shelburne the representation? Malika Andrews and Taylor Rooks, Aaron Andrews, Molly Karam, they're really, you know, maybe not so much present day, but at one point, they're really the cream of the crop when it comes to looks and journalists. Whereas Ramona Shelburne is a lot more, when you go into a newsroom, that's really who you see at your local newspaper. It's the Ramona Shelburnes of the world. So if we're talking about representation, don't we need more of that versus, you know, just the pretty young thing?
Well, I'll say it depends on what you think is beautiful. You know, everybody don't think I'm almost 6 feet tall. I'm thin. I'm light.
What?
Natural hair. I ain't for everybody. You know, some men don't like light women. Some men don't like tall women. I've had men leave me for thicker women. You know, it really just depends on what you like, you know. So a lot of times when I'm watching sports and I see these, you know, blonde bombshells and I see these women, they are right. Y'all may think, I mean, they're overall beautiful, but if I was a man, I probably wouldn't. They look like everybody else. You know, they look like everybody else.
So then should little girls look up to these? You know, is that the goal, is to get a little girl to see Malika Andrews and say, I want to be her? Or is she really not true representation because of the way she looks? You know, women, not every single woman looks like that. So should we really call her representation?
You know, growing up, I never saw anyone look like me. Only me and my sister. We look like twins. So I didn't see like tall, light women. So now that I'm older, people are like, oh my goodness, you're a model. Take away that I'm a fucking genius. People are like, you're a model. I'm not a fucking model. I used to be, but I'm not a model. I'm smart as hell. I got a few businesses. Even if they don't even make no money, I'm still a boss, you know? So that's more of what I am. I'm not a model, you know? But now that I'm older and taller, then I got to be a model, right? But when I was growing up, nobody was like, oh my goodness, you're beautiful. You should model. You should go to Paris. White parents were sending their kids to Paris at Paris at like 10 years old. My family didn't do that, you know, because they don't look at me as no damn model. But what I'm saying is that women come in all different shapes, sizes, forms. I don't think young girls are looking at TV like, this woman is so beautiful that I want to be like her. I think young women are looking like, this is a woman on TV, no matter how she looks. This is a woman on TV in the media. It's hard as hell to get in the media. I already should be a TV superstar, but I'm not. I'm knocking on 50, you know?
Oh, really?
So saying all that to say, I think young girls should just, and they probably are just excited just to see a woman on TV. It doesn't matter how she looks. Small, big, tall, short, you know, dark, light, black, white, just a woman on TV, you know? A woman that maybe looks like them. A woman that maybe looks like their mom or their grandmother or their sister, you know? A black woman if you're black, you know? Indian woman if you're Indian, you know? Just somebody you could just connect to, you know? That's how I feel.
And Amber, how do you feel? Same question. You know, do you feel like when you see Carrie Champion on TV, do you think that she represents you in terms of sports journalism?
No, I guess because I know how it works. It's almost like we're talking about cereal. You know how they come out with these crazy ass flavors to see if people are going to bite. It's about supply and demand. And typically when women started coming into sports broadcasting, they was looking at the ratings, the viewers. And they probably like, holy shit, more men are viewing, more women are viewing. This is a formula that works. So if we get this particular looking woman who are typically, if they're brown skinned, they're fair brown skin, or long hair or blonde or super thin, if we get this type of woman, this is the formula, we will get more ratings. And it's not representation of me because as a Black woman, you know, we come in so many different shades. Our hair is not silk down to our backs. We have kinky, coily hair. Sometimes we wear braids. Sometimes our skin is dark as blue. So they're not representing what a woman is to me, in my opinion, because I know there's typically a man pressing the button, will hire her. Okay, they're not like her, fire her, hire her, throw spaghetti on the wall, see what works. We got to keep the ratings up.
Yeah, I mean, and we kind of saw this to transition a little bit. We saw this with the Deshaun Watson being introduced as the Cleveland Browns quarterback, and the Browns caught a little bit of criticism because they had no female representations with the team to stand with him in support. And then there was also a lot of praise that the reporters that were asking him questions were a lot of women. And so would you two ladies and anyone else on the panel, do you think that just having women around as reporters to ask the right questions, is that a thing, or is that still more props and optics versus actual journalism being done?
Having women reporters not ask the right questions, but women reporters doing their job and asking the questions, whether it's challenging, whether it's, minutia. Having women journalism doing their jobs, doing it exceptionally well, despite or the fact is how they look, I think is better representation of what we need.
Yep, I absolutely agree. And just because we're women don't mean we dumb as hell. Don't mean we just gonna listen to what somebody tells us to do. That's just not gonna happen. We rebel, and we've been rebelling for since the beginning of the time. So just because you're a journalist doesn't mean you're a woman journalist, doesn't mean that you just want to be like, oh yeah, give me the questions and I'll ask these. Don't work.
But there's a lot of people in America who say that's exactly what they should have did, was have a woman at the forefront being the person that Deshaun has to talk to. And so I just wonder what do the powers that be, the media giants, or people who are heads of some of these social organizations, when they say, well, the Browns should have had a female employee stand up there with him to show solidarity. Like, what does that actually do for any kind of fan base? Or if the NFL is trying to advertise to a female fan base, does that actually land for you guys? It seems like pandering to me. It seems like when we talk about props, we're going to bring this woman up here, show that Deshaun Watson is, supportive of all women. And we know that because he's sitting next to one. And I guess that's supposed to cover it. But then in the same breath, we say they need more female sports reporters to ask him the right questions. So like, where does all this stuff meet to where it makes sense?
It's like just one of the reasons why people get married, right? We can't do this long. We just can't. You know what I'm saying? I've never been married, maybe one day, but most times women handle all the hard shit. We really do. When it's time to get a discount on the bill because they done fucked up at the restaurant, who do the talking? The woman. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to go to this kid's school and make sure things are going right, who does the talking? The women. When it's time to handle a bill because they done overcharged you on your cell phone or your cable bill, who does the talking? The woman.
It's mostly me. I think it's situational.
I will say, I know.
I think about 80% of the time, since 80% of our kids are born out of wedlock, you're probably right most of the time. If they raised by mama, they definitely gonna let a woman handle everything. So you're right. You're not wrong, but by choice.
I'll say in my situation, I've always been, as I say, the secretary of my family. My son is about to be 23 Saturday. Me and his father haven't been together since like 2007, but we still a family unit. So he'll call me, be like, "Hey, baby mama, can you call the school? Because I'm like, why can't you call? Well, you got the right. You know how to do it. Hey, all right. So I have to always do the calling. You know what I'm saying? With my man, we beefing right now. Beef, major beef. I don't even know if we're together no more. Beef about a phone call. Well, I asked you to call. Well, I think you should call. I'm tired of calling. You call. But guess who called? Me.
Well, I just want to encourage more men to get involved with everything, even when it comes to finances, the bills is getting paid. Because if you get involved, there may be a better way, and because it's only one-sided, it's like you'll never know. It'll just be done this one way without having like two different perspectives on there. I also encourage men to get involved with their kids when they come to school, because you'll be surprised, depending on the school and the area that they're in, what the admin would do. So it's very important that you get in there because they'll try to play your kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like your kid will come home, listen to what your kid is saying. Like they may not be able to articulate exactly what's going on, but always get both sides. You know, don't just think that your kid is just making shit up because they lied a few times. Actually go in there. And sometimes the presence of a man does something differently. I've been in the schools where, you know, they're not used to seeing men being involved. And if you are at one of those schools where admin and the teachers and staff, because they're gonna stick together, even if that staff is wrong. I've worked in a school environment where there were some things that happened and I had to overlook it because and when the parent shows up, we already got our script ready. But sometimes the presence of a man, I don't think men understand how powerful they are in this world. The presence of a man that's active, that's showing, that's you got to listen to and ask questions. You just can't just be there just showing up. You actually got to ask some questions because a lot of times men just don't listen. I'm not saying all men, but when it comes to everything, they don't listen. It's like they just coming in, but they not retaining information. But if you can just listen to what the admin and staff is doing when people are talking and then be able to ask some follow-up questions to get more clarity, they know you on your business. They know not to play with you. It's a certain way that you carry yourself. So I just encourage men. I mean, it probably is some truth to what Fuzzy is saying as far as what she see. But in my reality, I don't see that because I want to be a part. I want to be active in all aspects. I don't want to be sitting here just not knowing or passing off to somebody else. You're supposed to always know what's going on. That's how I consider a man should be when it comes to this world. You shouldn't be just sitting here lost in certain areas. Have some idea of how to do it. You know, I took I asked somebody to teach me how to sew, and I don't sew right now, right? But when I was dealing with the fashion and clothing, and when I wanted to understand every aspect of it, because when I go and I talk to these seamstresses, I need to be able to explain to them exactly what it is that I need from them when it comes to, doing the custom clothing, because it was a barrier. I remember when I flew down to LA and I was dealing with some of these companies as far as trying to find people that can manufacture the clothing. When I went in there, I was embarrassed because they were sitting there looking at me like, why did you bring this guy to me? Even though the guy brought me there for a particular reason. I think he was just bringing me as a client to get a discount off himself. But when I was sitting in that room with these big heads and they talking to me, I didn't know what they was talking about. And so when I left there, it's like, man, I got to get a little bit more educated on this whole process. And I don't have to do it every day. But if I'm going to be the man in charge and telling people what to do, I need to know exactly what it is that this entails. So I know I'm rambling right now, but in a nutshell, just get active in your kids' life, get active in your finance, just get active in everything around you. Anything that you're dealing with, just make sure that you are familiar with it.
Right on, big brother. Right on.
Want to welcome Courtney. Welcome Courtney to the panel. Good morning, Courtney. How you doing?
What's up? What's up? What's up with the blind bombshells in the building? I see you. Yeah, I see you, ladies.
Hey, Courtney, you trying to be a regular on the sports show, ain't you? I know what you do. You better move on in.
No, I'm definitely not trying to be a regular, but
come on over. Come on over to the dark side, baby. Come on over to the dark side.
When I hear something, I hear something.
I love y'all and I gotta go.
I run.
Go ahead, Courtney. What did you want to add? Floor is yours.
Yeah, so I definitely think that women sportcasters are definitely on there because of looks. And it would be cap if we said that our looks didn't get us indoors in the entertainment field, period. I think it'd be silly for us to think that we women just want to just be looked for our minds, I'm smart. We want to be looked at as attractive. We want people to know, yes, I am beautiful. There's not a woman in the world that I know that just wants to be, I'm just smart. That's it. So we understand beauty. We understand the importance of beauty. So I just, one thing that I want to do is like, let's not cap. If men wasn't looking at you and wasn't giving you attention, then that would be a bigger problem. It's a reason why Beyonce is Beyonce and Lizzo is Lizzo. It's beauty. Beauty has always been something that men loved and admired in us. We're just able to now funnel that into sports.
So then I'll pose to you the question I pose to everyone else. Then is that true representation if you're going with the, you know, the cream of the crop when it comes to this particular role, you know, the female sideline reporter? When you see that woman, do you feel that she represents, you know, a larger group of the population, or is it a specific thing about her that she's being propped up because of all these other reasons outside of just she's a good reporter?
Well, I understand representation matters. However, let's not cap again. So football players, they are the cream of the crop. They don't represent majority of men. They are playing football because they represent 3% of men. Most men don't have the agility, the body, the endurance as these football players. So they're in that role because they're different. Women are in that role in media, period, because they have a beauty that maybe not is looked upon like everybody else. So when you look at media, when you look at TV, you're going to see the cream of the crop. And it doesn't matter if there's another woman that's smarter. I'm sure it is. It's always going to be someone smarter, but it's that beauty that also can balance out the intelligence. And that's just what it is. So instead of us always trying to fight it, it's just realize it. And it is what it is. Men are not wanting to look at women that are not beautiful.
So, Quentin, let me ask you a question. If a young girl sees, specifically, I'm noticing the women, not now, but over the last couple of years, had a specific look, long hair or fair skin, and there's a little brown skinned girl that says, I want to be that. But she may not appear to be the cream of the crop at that time because that's not the standard of beauty. What would you tell her? Don't pursue it because she's not that, she don't look just like the woman she see on TV?
No, I would definitely not tell her not to pursue it. And I think right now we're in a phase where now you are seeing beautiful brown skinned women. You are seeing the Gabrielle Unions. You are seeing the Lupita Nyong'o. So you are seeing dark skinned, beautiful women. However, they're still beautiful. So that's what they're gorgeous. You're not just seeing usually just basic women that you would see at the Walmart, shout out Logic, propped up for stardom, propped up on TV, propped up as broadcasters. You're not seeing it because it's still an instance of beauty. Yes, the standards are slowly changing, but the beauty aspect will not change. And even with men. So you see the Colin Kaepernicks get propped up and the Russell Wilsons get propped up. It's not just because they're great players. They fine.
But so
they're going to have more attention on the men because they fine too. And women are looking at that. That's why you have leading men. It's not that just because they're just great actors. They fine.
So we're in the age of diversity and inclusion, and the beauty aspect has changed, obviously, because we have Lizzos, we have the body positivity. All these companies now are actually paying money and doing drastic things to seem all-inclusive. And so the goalpost, I think, is slowly changing because of that.
I think they're trying to change. Mm-hmm. But is Lizzo going to be just an absolute superstar? No, she doesn't have appeal. In order to try to get more audience to your platform, you have to have, it's called the it factor, the je ne sais quoi. And the it factor is, what do you look like? But that has always been, and even with white women. Yeah, you might see the skinny, blonde, blue-eyed, man, I got a white woman on my shirt right now, Marilyn Monroe. But she was Marilyn Monroe because of her beauty. If she looked like Roseanne Barr, she's going to be stuck playing a raggedy role, and she's not going to be on the Elle magazine. So again, I mean, it's just living in reality. And what is reality? Beauty sells. It sells with women, and it also sells with men. I'm not looking at Michael Ealy and watching his movies just because he's just an amazing thespian.
Oh, really?
That's right. He's fine.
Yeah, he's actually a terrible actor, though.
I mean, everybody look at him like that, like a whole.
Hey, man, look here. Shout out to all the ugly people, baby. Shout out to all the ugly people.
I was gonna say, I feel like men don't hang their hats so hard on, or rather, I'll say it this way. So in the podcast, Taylor Rooks said that she doesn't necessarily want men to judge her, or, you know, her professional achievements should not be defined by how she looks. But at the same time, if that's part of her package, right? Like, I'm just confused on when women say that, but then we also say, well, Roseanne Barr can't expect to be on TV either. So, you know, like, which is it? You know, should we value their looks and then allow them to speak and then turn them away once they say something dumb? Or should we, you know, try to bring in more Roseanne Barrs because we're trying to be inclusive? When then where does that leave all these attractive people? You know, I'm just trying to figure out to what end is all this gonna go on, and what is the true meaning of inclusion? What's the true meaning of representation?
Well, everyone's not going to be able to be represented on a bigger platform. Someone is always going to lose out. So if you want to get more browner skinned women, that means the lighter skinned women is going to lose out. If you want to talk more about Black women, have them showcased, then the Latinos women is going to be not looked at. So it really depends on the particular platform and what you look like. So even with me, I used to do hospitality sales manager. So I had to go out fishing for different companies. I did wedding planning, and I did things like that. A lot of my clients were men. I would be lying to you if I said I didn't get some of the accounts because of how I looked. I made sure I dressed the part, hair done, makeup done, as beautiful as I can be. And then once that got me in the door, it's easier for men like beauty. So it's easier for me to get in there. And then once I'm there, it's my intelligence that gives it the wow factor. And that's how I'm able to pull it. So you use your pretty privilege as an asset. Because I'd be damn sure if I'm over here trying to sell and they looking elsewhere, they looking at the waitress because she over there looking like Beyonce or whatever. And I'm not looked at. And it's like, no, I'm going to get this. So I'm going to play my part. I'm going to be, yes, sir. Yes, of course. And I don't see anything wrong with that. If you're beautiful and you're in a market where beauty sells and you're able to climb the ladder using who you are, what's the problem?
For me personally, I've always preferred my work to show. And then if you happen to see me afterwards, if you just put 3 photographers work, my photo and 2 other photographers, you don't know if it's a woman, man, and you chose me based on my work. And then you happen to see me like, oh, she's pretty. Oh, she's dope. That's just what I would prefer.
Well, let's not cap, because you asked JR the question and he didn't answer.
Well, I'm not capping, but
this is what I'm saying.
As a professional photographer, what I would prefer.
You're on a platform seen by thousands. You're beautiful.
Thank you.
So that gets you in the door. Do you think JR is going to have somebody on the platform with a bonnet?
You know he ain't gonna say nothing.
Right, he's not.
He never answered my question.
He's not.
I tried to answer the question.
Y'all taking shots, ain't y'all?
So because you're beautiful, it's okay. She's beautiful and she's smart. That's the it. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that you have it. And that's why you're here. Other than there's probably a whole lot of other women that probably wants to be in your shoes right now and be on a platform speaking like you are. But because you have it, there's not a problem with acknowledging and it's not a problem with knowing, yeah, I can talk on a platform because I'm smart and beautiful. 2 things can be the same at the same time.
Definitely agree with you on that one.
You're beautiful, and it's all right to say that.
Okay. A lot of love being handed out right now. I got a question though for you.
Let me tell you something.
I see what's going on here.
And she's definitely spinning facts.
All right, okay.
Because I take it extremely personal, fighting self-taught photographer to prove that my work is just as good to be on, National Geographic and the other one. And so I take it real personal. And then not only that, because I work in imagery and I work with a lot of people who are not, especially women, especially girls who are not deemed pretty, who deal with extreme insecurities. And, we're telling them that they can do it. But in all actuality, if they don't have the look, you can tell by somebody if they have, like you said, Courtney, that it factor. So do we tell them because you don't have this it factor, don't pursue the dream of being on a nationally syndicated sports show because you don't have that it factor. Like, we're having this honest conversation.
I think everyone deserved honesty. Mm-hmm. So if someone said they wanted to be a model, and again, this is media that we're speaking about, where beauty sells, sex sells, and they want to be a model and they're 5'2", 250. I want to be a model. I want to grace the cover of the Cosmopolitan. Would you not be honest, or would you call it,
the way things are going right now, if you've noticed what's going on in media right now, it ain't that damn far-fetched. Lizzo got a show, you know what I mean, trying to make everybody happy or whatever. So, I mean, I hear what you're saying, Courtney, or whatever, but like now, it seems like the door has been open for everybody else because we want to be an inclusive society.
I think the doors are trying to be open. We're not there yet. And if I would be lying to think that we would just be there yet.
But that you know something?
I don't think that the global standard for women of beauty is going to be a size 20.
But
I don't see it.
My statement is this. It's always open for the women. But man, what about the fat dudes that want to kick the door down? Hey man, why ain't we getting a goddamn show? I mean, I've seen this, like you said, the Lizzo show, a big girl, bad girl, whatever it's called. Man, everybody's included under the female umbrella. Our Hispanic sisters, our Indian sisters, our Asian sisters, our black sisters. Man, everybody. But man, the heavy-set black man can't get no representative. Come on now. Get some out there for us big dogs.
We on the show, Hank.
Oh, is this what we get on? God damn. We need to get on a bigger scale. Come on, JR.
Nah, we will.
Get us on TV.
You want to talk about Shut on Belly?
No. So I think that we just have to deal with reality, and the reality now. Now, 15 years in the future, okay, who knows? But the reality of it is now, when you do have to be honest. So again, like I said, with the skin complexion or things like that, I think that has completely changed. But what hasn't changed and has been consistent is a woman's beauty. And again, I don't see anything wrong with acknowledging it. I don't see anything wrong with using it to your advantage.
Well, I mean, that can be used to transition a little bit. Again, I kind of brought up the Cleveland Browns signing Deshaun Watson as their upcoming quarterback. He still has, I believe, more than 20 civil cases against him. A number of women have brought sexual assault allegations against him. A lot of the criminal charges have been either dropped or decided to not be brought against Deshaun, but he still does have the civil cases. So I wonder when we talk about just the women's role in sports in general, what role would the NFL have in explaining Deshaun Watson still being a player to its female fan base, if any? I imagine that there's a lot of, Cleveland Brown fans, especially, that's a storied franchise, even though they don't really have too many wins under their belt historically. I imagine that there's still a, very popular team in Cleveland and Ohio as a state. So, do they owe any special attention to their female fan base, given the allegations, or, what impact will all this have, given the current landscape of sports and politics and whatnot and inclusion? Does this have any impact at all?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think when, with these football allegations and these videotapes that come out, people already have that. People already want to have something over these players' heads. Please believe that you have a file with your mishaps in that file, and they're holding it and they're waiting for a time where they can leverage it. I say that to say, in Deshaun Watson's situation, and I attribute this to like Meg Thee Stallion, nobody would invest $230 million into you if they haven't researched that situation and ran it down legally to find out how accurate this is. You know what I mean? Nobody is going to invest that type of money into something that they haven't done their due diligence to find out what the outcome of that may be. you know, and I level it with the Meg Thee Stallion situation is because you look at, you know, Tory Lanez at one point, he was on a cross. The minute that news came out, he was stamped on a cross. Everybody was taking shots, men, women. I was just, you know, now if you notice, people that are brand conscious are starting to hang around him. You know, like if I'm a big business and there's somebody who has that allegation or that's a possibility that can, you know, if there's the possibility that they could be guilty of this, I'm not around you. We're not doing any business. If you notice, a lot of people are around Tory now that are brand conscious that wouldn't be around him otherwise. So they know something that we don't know. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be around him if they didn't know something that we didn't know. They wouldn't be investing in him if they didn't know what they needed to know to be around him. So I say the same thing like I level those two together with Deshaun Watson.
Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. I mean, I don't know. I've been riding with Deshaun Watson the whole time, man. Innocent to proven guilty. But society ain't gonna let that be the situation. Not for us black men. That's why you got to protect yourself at all times. Man, look, these civil suits are gonna be there because you don't have to have much to prove a civil suit. Very little evidence to prove a civil suit. So they looking to get their money. They said, "Oh, I can't get them criminally. We'll get them civilly." And so now that's what they're doing. The fallback plan. That was the whole plan anyway. I think they knew the criminal charges wasn't gonna stick, but they used that to set up the civil charges. And so now he's dealing with that situation. So is it going to be a situation where he's going, hey, now the price is not as high since the criminal charges are not on the table? You know, now we could just, it's not as much, Deshaun. Would you be willing to pay him off then? Now he's going to think in the back of his mind, man, I just want to get this shit over with. So should I go ahead and do it?
Yeah, he was pretty adamant that he wasn't gonna pay any money. But yeah, I mean, I imagine
I don't blame him. I wouldn't pay him a goddamn dime.
And, you know, you pay us 80 grand, 90 grand, 100 grand for, you know, non-disclosure, never bring it up, no interviews, no book, nothing like that. And, you know, it all go away. You know, it might be in his best interest, who knows? But at the same time, I can see if he want to fight it all the way down to the teeth, every single allegation, he wanted to go, you know, to litigation and whatnot, I can see how he does that too. So, but
hold your ground, Sean. Hold your ground.
You know, given the current landscape of you know, believing women when they report, you know, sexual assault and whatnot, I mean, is it a bad look for the Browns to, you know, give him a guaranteed contract? They gave him a contract to which his first year is going to be the minimum. That way he doesn't incur as many fines, you know, from the NFL and whatnot. So is that all a bad look, or, you know, what do you think?
Bro, the NFL, when you're an NFL fan, you have to accept a very cold hard truth is that the people you are rooting for are most likely a lot of times sociopaths, like low-key. Like for real, we have a damn murderer on one of your NFL pregame shows every week. Ray Lewis is a murderer. I don't like however you want to.
An accessory to it.
Yeah, however you want to. You know, that man participated in somebody getting shanked out. It is what it is, bro. You know, when you watch NFL football, every week is something. Somebody is getting caught up with something. This idea that all of our top flight stars are going to be Boy Scouts, especially in a game where we kind of teach Boy Scout energy out of people is absurd. It's naive, man. Look, he went to a perfect place. He went to a place where people give a damn so much about their team that they will look past the fact that this dude maybe a handful of times, maybe he did try to get a happy ending at a massage. You know, he ain't Michael Vick. He ain't out here hanging dogs or whatever. They'll get over it. You know what I mean? First time that man throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns in that stadium, everybody be like, "D-Day what? Who we got next week?" That's how it's gonna go down. You're gonna have a small undercurrent of agitators that will, complain about it. But let me look. I'm gonna tell you who don't care about Deshaun Watson's background: the women of Cleveland who root for the Browns. They are very much excited for next season.
Is that a contradiction, you think?
No. Have you heard any women from Cleveland go, "Oh my God, we got Deshaun Watson. This is awful"? Like, has there been a groundswell movement? Were there any protests? Did I miss that? All they know is they went 500 last year, and that the chances of them going to the playoffs just improved exponentially. They don't give a damn.
If they didn't want him there, he wouldn't be there.
I tell you, I give you an example, a situation where they don't a guy they don't want. Browse. Remember the old Baylor football coach? Man, this dude can't get a second chance for nothing. I mean, he was down here supposed to get a job at Kentucky State as offensive coordinator, HBCU for Courtney. Couldn't get that job. Them people of Frankfurt, man, they got him up through. No, we don't want him. We don't need him. Dude, UK State, you a small NAIA school. It ain't like you a major D1 pro. And y'all know, man, they said, hell no. All because them same allegations of what almost happened, 8 years ago? This man can't get another job in the college level.
I think that speaks to who they are, though. But I think that speaks to quarterbacks are on a whole different level of importance in professional sports, man. Look at Russell Wilson. They ruined an entire franchise trying to placate that little bastard. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ruined the whole franchise. Quarterbacks mean so damn much to NFL teams as far as revenue, jersey sales, media, like all that or whatever. They don't give a damn about Ray Rice. There's 8 damn Ray Rices who are 5 years younger and 5 years stupider. You know what I'm saying? That they don't care about running them to the ground. They ain't growing Deshaun Watsons on trees, man.
I'm going to say this, then I'm going to drop down, leave. So I know
you don't want to leave, Courtney. Don't do that. You just want to stay.
I do. I want a brunch. I do want to go to a brunch, but I think you guys talked about this last week or the week before, as far as how these athletes or entertainers are recycling women. And just to give you food for thought, there is a reason. And I know, Amber, you said, sometimes it's PR, but sometimes it goes a little bit deeper than that. A lot of these women get recycled, or you see this woman and then they don't work and then she's on to the next one. It's because they don't have to worry about particular woman with allegations. So there is a thing I know in sports where their publicist, their manager will tell you there's a particular woman that you can date. There's names of women that they can date that will be quiet, they won't have to worry about these allegations that he's going through as well. So there are women that are specifically picked for particular players that they can date because they know that they're not going to run their mouth and they know that they're not going to have lawsuits, side babies. It is a thing. So a lot of these women, again, are recycled because it's to protect their brand, and there's particular women that are for them to protect their brand. And so that's another reason why. So it's not this, why is she hopping this and that and that? It's a reason. And that's one of the reasons. And he needs to get with his manager and let him know who's the women on the list that know how to shut the hell up.
And hand out the rub outs, the quiet rub outs.
But isn't
I'm just saying, it's true. It's literally a list of women. So I'm listening in the back. I'll be in the chat.
Isn't it too easy to for women though to kind of come against public figures and make allegations? I mean, Deshaun Watson was presented as a model citizen in the NFL, and then his statement, he said, and I quote, "I understand these allegations are serious," but he told a female reporter, again, quote, "I never assaulted any woman. I've never disrespected any woman. I was raised to be genuine and to respect everyone around me." He went on to say, "I've never done the things these people are alleging." So he has come out and pretty much adamantly denied across the board these allegations. So, and then there's another athlete in the news right now, Jackson Hayes. He's being sued by his ex-girlfriend for, physical abuse, pretty much domestic abuse and domestic assault. And so, the case on that is still, kind of being investigated. So we don't want to speak too much on that. But just in general, is the accusations against the athlete, becoming like something that's becoming normalized in society where, you know, Hink was talking about all you got to do is hurl the allegation, wait some time, and you might get a settlement, $90,000, $100,000. And, you know, your lawyer gets some of that, but you just came out of a bag, you know, so is that going to become something that becomes normalized, you think?
As far as just allegations being thrown out there by women?
Yeah, like, is there any, like, what's the fallout from some of this stuff? Like, I mean, Deshaun Watson's reputation has pretty much been sullied, but is there going to be any long-term impact one way or the other due to this?
A clout chaser don't care about your reputation. In this age of social media now, with you see everything on YouTube right now with beefs and stuff, do you think someone cares about a reputation? It ain't even about money sometimes. It's just really about attention. And they can make up lie or exaggerate a story to get the attention that they want for their 5 minutes of fame, 10 minutes of fame, to be on the Shade Room. And that's it. So it's a chase. And again, that's why we need so much, being a football player, an athlete, period. I know back in the day, they used to have where they had men to teach them how to maneuver in this space, but I don't think that happens. And so men are being men. The more women get thrown at them, the more they throwing it back, literally. But it's still a business. And even the idea of doing something that is inappropriate will mess up your entire brand. And these women don't care. Hell, I can even say some of these men don't care. I think Nene Leakes had a little sneaky, freaky leak that came out and was trying to get his clout.
I don't care.
So that's just what it is. But it's just silly that we live in this time. But you know that if you sleep with one, it's going, and I can take a picture of you. Who just got a picture taken of little lame dude from North. Anyway, if I could take a picture of you, bam, my Instagram following is up, my YouTube page is going to be popping. That's just the era that we live in. I'm just trying to figure out why these men aren't getting it.
I don't care.
They don't care, apparently.
Hey man, these chicks are they looking for a come up, man. I've been telling you, protect yourself at all costs. I don't give a damn what you got to do. If that means less nights with these heifers, so be it. Get the Jergens out. Who gives a shit? You ain't got to worry about no STDs. You ain't got to worry about getting no. You can't get your hand pregnant. I tell you that. Protect yourself, man. Don't ever snatch an ass. Don't you ever snatch it. You say no, you walk away. You find somebody else gonna give it up. Ain't no booty snatching need to be happening out here. It's too many. They give it away like it's candy on Halloween. I'll be damned if I snatch an ass.
And that's I said this last week. That's the part of this that I just do not understand. Like he has to be so socially awkward, bruh, that you can't, like, bro, you was in Texas. You could have went to any club in Houston and sprinted through the club and had two of them hanging on your leg once you got to the other side. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? What are you doing, man?
All right. Amber, hold it down for the women.
Listen, blonde
hold it down.
Have a mimosa for me at brunch.
I got a mimosa for you, baby. I got you.
All right, now, Court.
Man, well, I mean, as we continue through here, we'll transition again just to some other sports news. It appears that the college program, Memphis University, head coach by, of course, Penny Hardaway, is actually under investigation for multiple NCAA violations. So I kind of wanted to get into both men's basketball and just how the sports landscape in college is going. Given all of the, the new name, image, and likeliness deals that are going on in conjunction with a NCAA investigation against Memphis, is college sports in a solid spot right now? I mean, you see March Madness where St. Peter's run is like, in a historic run. It probably has the sports books going insane. You see where certain football players, these new recruits, are getting like $5 and $10 million sponsorship deals and NIL deals and things like that. So is March Madness hitting the same as it once was? And once we see more and more college investigations happen, are we going to keep sending our kids to school, or is it going to be a point where it's just going to amateur athletics is not really going to be a thing as we get in, the 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line?
Nah, well, first, man, I'd be happy when Penny get a NBA coaching job. Any team, hopefully, maybe the Memphis Grizzlies, since he's from heavy in that area. But nah, I mean, March Madness will remain the same because we always like to see that Cinderella story. Everybody got their bracket set up in the office or through your friends, so that's always going to be an exciting part of college basketball. But in terms of the pipeline, I think they're gonna manufacture a whole different pipeline, man, where kids really like skip college altogether. And you got a lot more LaMelo Balls and you what's the other dude, man? Brandon Jennings, dudes who go overseas 1 year and then hop back to the league. You're gonna have a lot more pipelines like that, man, because college sports is just too it's too crooked.
That's the thing, and everybody knows it except for the fans, and that's the heart of the problem. Everybody involved, whether it be the school, the coach, the players, the damn cheerleaders, everybody knows that everybody is getting paid. The problem is that the NCAA for years sold itself. They sold college sports. The narrative is that this kid from the middle of nowhere in the country, or the kid from the hood is going to go to college and get a degree. And if he's good enough, he'll make it to the pros, and he's got to eat ham sandwiches 4 days a week because it's hard. And, they actually sell that to these goofballs. These people like in the middle, like if you ever, and I know there's, people from, I'm not going to say the entire South, but bro, how these people think down here when it comes to college football. It's a damn mythology around it. You know what I'm saying? Like in their minds, a young man from the streets of Memphis or Chicago getting paid is horrifying to them because it ruins the fantasy. The fantasy is of this poor black kid scrapping it out and fighting and playing hard so he can get an education. It's the fantasy of it, man. And the people who can't accept that are the fans. The fans of these universities, which the vast majority of them couldn't get into or whatever, believe that their schools and their I'm looking at y'all, Notre Dame fans. I'm looking at y'all. Notre Dame fans are the effing worst. Most people who went to Notre Dame wouldn't associate with you in public if you didn't even go to Notre Dame, which is hilarious. That's just a side note, but the NCAA is trapped between a rock and a hard place. The players, the schools want to spend the resources, but the fans are turned off by it. You literally have people who live in the middle of nowhere, whether it be Penn State, Nebraska, Texas, who believe that what they're watching on the field is amateur athletics. They really think no one's getting paid, no one's getting impartial benefits, and their school is clean, and that school that's been beating our ass for years, for 10, 15 years, is cheating. You know what I mean? That's what it's built upon. You sitting some of these message boards on these college, those bastards down in Oklahoma just gave somebody $500,000 to come to their school. Where's the NCAA? And meanwhile, they got a $1 million nose tackle on their team. That you can't. That's where they caught at. That's where they're caught at, man. It's like their fans believe the bullshit, so they still have to play this game.
And to give you a little bit of context, so this was. Former player, I guess call him a player, he barely played, but this is from James Wiseman. So apparently Penny Hardaway gave James Wiseman's mother around $11,000 to be able to, get all their moving expenses to Nashville. And I think James Wiseman also may have played 1 or 2 games and then was deemed to be ineligible. So for various reasons. And then he did not play the rest of that season because he was preparing for the NBA draft. So, but I guess that $11,000 in them 3 games amounted to a few violations in some kind of way. But again, it's almost laughable that Memphis is being investigated for giving $11,000 to a recruit's mother to move, even though they have however much they have an endowment, however much money James Wiseman was going to bring in terms of, you know, the attention to the basketball program. So, you know, that's why I asked, like, where is college sports actually going to end up? Because they, you know, all the fans and certain powers that be want to keep the illusion of amateur athletics, even though I think some recruit just signed like a $8 million NIL deal, I want to say, to go to Tennessee.
Yeah, water is fine in this level. These kids are expensive. Good for them.
Yeah, so it's kind of, you know, in one sense, or in one part of the country, you know, a school is about to maybe have some wins removed, maybe Penny Hardaway be held responsible, maybe get fired over 11 grand. But then in another part of the same state, you know, you just had a recruit sign what could amount to $8 million worth of sponsorship deals and money. So I don't know how you make it make sense.
Look here, man. The NCAA doesn't have any teeth. They ain't had any teeth in a long time. Nobody gives a shit about them. So I wouldn't be surprised in about 5 years that all these colleges separate themselves from the NCAA. Don't be surprised it happens. Because, man, nobody takes them serious because they know consistency. They're never consistent. One program gets a death penalty. Next program, man, they don't even acknowledge the NCAA is on their campus investigate. I'll give you an example. Man, Bruce Pearl didn't give a shit about it. Said, I'm not talking to you assholes. I'm not saying a word. And never said anything to him, yet he did get fired. He got a damn raise this past year. Because they don't take it serious. Nobody does. So, man, who's going to take you serious when they don't even anoint the same rules and regulations to each school? They don't. I'm not going to take you serious. You know, it's like a parent. Oh, yeah, you talk a good game. But until you follow up through it, that's just talk. That's just empty words. Nobody give a shit. So, man, nobody's taking them serious. So I wouldn't be surprised in about 5 years, every college separates themselves from the NCAA.
So when these kids, I think you said NIL, like they get these NIL money, that means like a contract to go to this school for 4 years? And
not supposed to be. No, not that.
What does that mean?
So NIL is name, image, and likeness. You pretty much, you know, instead of like, if there's a local car dealership that wants you to be their ambassador as part of, you know, them advertising their cars. So you, in their commercials, they put up a billboard, you standing next to a Chevy. And at one point, I'm pretty sure a student could not have that because they did not own their own image and likeness. The school owned you. You know, so to speak. So now that student athletes are able to benefit off their own names, I don't know if they're getting any benefits from the jersey sales. I don't recall the detail there, but before in college, an athlete did not get any money off the jersey sale. So when Reggie Bush, for example, was at USC, I'm sure the number 5 USC jersey was selling gangbusters like crazy, and he never saw not $1 out of that.
But they paid him in advance to use his NIL.
Right. So fast forward to today, where now I'm not sure how it works with the jersey sales, but a player can have the opportunity to make money because he's the quarterback of the Miami Hurricanes, for example.
And do they typically do this? Sorry for my ignorance, but I just have to ask. Okay. Do they do this in order, like, are they already students at the college, or is that a way to lure them to be at that college?
I mean, it's
so you're not supposed to,
right?
That's not.
Go ahead, Hank. Go ahead, Hank, because you got.
No, they're not allowed to use that to lure you to the college. That's only a deal that it so happens to be in the same city as the college is. Yeah, you're not allowed to. That's part of the rules. You're not allowed to use them NL deals in order to get to a kid to go to that college. No, you're not supposed to. But like you'll see. I don't know. Y'all see them commercials where the kid will wear the color of the program, but has nothing to do with supposed to be dealing with the program. So you'll see them wearing a jersey. They wear a blank jersey that so happens to say, like you said, Reggie Bush. It happened to be burgundy and gold, but you know it can't have the school's name on it. It can't be affiliated with the school. But everybody, you can insinuate, okay, that's the school he's talking about. That's the reason why he's wearing that color scheme of the jersey. But no, it's not supposed to be because he's going to the school. It's supposed to have no affiliation with the school as far as connection with them going there.
So doesn't that change the trajectory of, like, you know, typically athletes go to certain college because wasn't the end goal is to go pro, right? So now has that changed now where it's like, whether I go pro or not, you know, I have opportunity to make a gang of money when I go to college?
Depend on what the number is. I mean, My younger cousin is really close with somebody on the Kentucky basketball team, and what I was told is that he was deciding between going straight to the G League and going to Kentucky. He made more money going to Lexington and getting NIL deals and going to play at Kentucky than he would have gotten just being a rando in the G League. So it just depends on place, time, and amount, you know?
Yeah, so I mean,
Shout
Amber,
out to Shay Sharp.
if your son got a athletic scholarship, they'll probably start approaching him junior, senior year of high school. Say, hey, if you come to Texas, you know, this car dealership is going to be looking to put you in their ads. This restaurant's going to, you know, this steakhouse is going to be looking to put you in their ads, and you know, so on and so forth. And by your junior year, you may have made $8-10 million. So you know, what do you say? So now, so if Texas is saying that to you, and Georgia isn't saying that to you, well, you might decide to go to Texas. Now, Texas might not necessarily be putting those deals together, you know, in terms of on the table, but, you know, of course, they're going to have their back channels to make sure you get all these different deals. Spencer Rattler, when he transferred schools from Oklahoma to South Carolina, one of the first things that he did is he got like a car dealership deal in South Carolina. So him as a college student, I'm sure he's made a couple $1 million by now, at least, just based on the commercials and, you know, the appearances, anything you could think of. You know, now you own your name, you own your face, so you can make whatever money you need to make. I mean, I think at one point they were not letting players have their own YouTube channels and whatnot, and now I imagine that they can do that. So
I saw something maybe a month or two ago that they said if NIL had been around when Tim Tebow was in college, he would have made $100 million. That's how beloved and how popular he was in the state of Florida, that he would have made 9 figures just off marketing if that was in place.
Tim Tebow, Reggie Bush, easily. I'm sure there's others. You know, Ezekiel Elliott, he kind of came across some controversy towards the end, but he was a real big name at Ohio State. Robert Griffin III, when he was at Baylor and he brought home a Heisman, I'm sure he'd have made a lot of money as a college athlete before he went pro. So it's definitely going to tip the scales. But again, if these teams remove themselves from the NCAA, I imagine they'll just have to get together and host their own bowl game.
I think that's what all this conference realignment that's happening, I think that's what it's for. Like long term, you're going to get those 5 power conferences are going to say, okay, we don't want to be a part of the NCAA no more because my athletic department can afford to put our coach on a G5 to go to Youngstown, Ohio to scout this offensive lineman. But Old Dominion or Texas State can't afford that. So we can't play these teams because that's not a level playing field. So what you'll see is there'll be a whole new division, I think. You'll have like major college football and be the rest of everybody else broke asses. Because that's what it's going to be. You know what I mean? Like I remember, what was that? About 3-4 years ago when I think it was Northwestern's football team unionized. And the Michigan athletic director and even the president said, well, if we have to pay the players, we're going to drop down to Division III. I'm like, that's what it's going to be pretty much. Everybody's going to be Division III once the Power 5 conference leaves. That's what it is. You're going to have the paying colleges and then everybody else.
So we'll see how it goes. You know, with tuition going up, I don't know how these colleges are going to be able to, you know, maintain. I know they're making money from their TV deals, but I don't know if I'm going to be sending my kids to college unless it's on a full scholarship. Otherwise, they're not going to be, you know, making me pay for some recruit's $10 million deal because that seems like what's going to come down the pipeline. It's going to be $80,000 college tuition.
You doing it now. You doing it now. You paying for coaches. Football coach, basketball coaches, you paying now, so it's no different. Now the tuition gonna go up as long as them coaches get them big checks.
Yeah, and you know why? Because people, I think, you know, Notre Dame keeps coming to mind because I was in South Bend yesterday or whatever, right? So I'm driving around with my girl in South Bend or whatever, and like one side of town looks like Gary, Indiana. It looks like there was a damn war that went on. And then on the side of town where Notre Dame is, it looks like you might be in California if you look up, if you don't notice on a warm day.
Disneyland.
Right. You know what I mean? These universities are swimming in money and they just want to be able to spend it the way they, like I was telling her, like, I told her this is how much money schools like Notre Dame have. They paid Charlie Weiss $20 million to go away. Not to coach, but to stop coaching and go the hell away. That's the type of spending power the Alabamas, the Notre Dames, the USCs, the Texas have, that they just want to be able to spend their damn money in peace and put the best football players on the field. And at a certain point, the NCAA has made itself irrelevant. And it sucks too, because it's going to take away some opportunities for some kids. But I think that at the end of the day, it'll balance itself out.
Awesome. Before we wrap up, we'll throw it to you, Sway. Anything you want to add in, Sway? How you feeling on it? Do you think, college sports is going to be what it is in the next 10 years? Do you think this NIL is going to be a good thing, or is it going to lead to more confusion and more division within the Division I college sports?
I mean, I'm sure it's probably going to be more division. I think to put it in perspective, if you ever go watch like European football, actually like soccer, we would call it here, it's kind of reminds me of like how they do like the BPL or like any other of those leagues. They're going to have like the main 5 teams that has all the money and all the good players, and then everybody else is kind of like the underdogs trying to come up. And like Avon said, it's probably going to be the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, which is, I guess fine to an extent. It just matters where we're going to invest our money at now. It's like more kids are going to try to go to the lower schools if they're not as good, and I guess it's going to be harder to get into the top schools because they're too good. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. It is what it is. I don't see a problem with it.
I mean,
at least they're making their money. Yeah. That's what I think. As long as the players are making their money and they're not missing out on $100 million in 4 years. I mean, like Tim Tebow or Reggie Bush or whoever. I mean, I'm sure. What is it? Randy Moss. He would have made a bag playing. What is it? Malcolm? Was that what it was?
Is that Marshall?
Marshall.
Yeah,
he made a bag. So
but I was going to say, I mean, I feel like the NIL
players.
Yeah, I feel like the NIL opportunities may not be necessarily there for HBCU students, which I feel like might be another thing that.
And that's our fault, unfortunately. That's our damn fault.
Yeah. I mean, VCU doesn't even have a football team. It ain't even just HBCUs. They got a decent whole program coming out of Richmond, Virginia. They got money. They don't have a football team.
No, but
I have a football team.
I think
soccer.
I think what I'm saying is that we as Black people, I know a lot of Black people in the South love going to the football games because of the band and the atmosphere or whatever, but they have to start leveraging that so they can give kids who don't have, like the HBCUs, if you can't play at Alabama or Texas, the HBCU should be a place where you can go to have an opportunity to move up. And we have to start, I told myself, I'm going to go to somebody game this year. Like, it's definitely going to be a Jackson State game. I love with Deion. I said, I'm going to go down there this year. But like, what I look like going to a Notre Dame game when I ain't going to a Jackson State game, that's counterproductive. You know what I mean? And it's probably a better time too. Notre Dame Stadium is terrible.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to a Battle of the Bands game or something like that too, just because, we got to support some kind of way. Just like this whole, I don't want to get into it, but just like the whole Ralph Lauren with Morehouse situation, like people could easily go to the Morehouse bookstore website and buy all the Morehouse sweaters and hoodies and all the kind of stuff they want if their goal is to support Morehouse. But, whatever. But to move forward here before we wrap up. So with this year's March Madness, again, I mean, it's been an insane couple days with some of these games. I think everybody's bracket was busted maybe after the first day, for sure after the second round. So, I mean, I already knew that it was going to be a rough go. But some people are saying that this is, one of the best postseasons in all of sports. And this year just goes to show you the parity and all the unpredictable nature of what basketball is, the one and done games versus the series games, that this is some of the best postseason play every single year. And I was just curious if y'all thought that was true. Is this better than the NBA Finals? Is this better than the Super Bowl? Is it better than
Hell no. Did they not see the NFL playoffs last year, man? That every game was like pretty much a damn barn burner, and it was a better viewing, thing. I can't watch college basketball. The damn missed jump shots. It's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to watch that, man. For me, I understand the significance. I watch it to scout future NBA players, not necessarily like root for one team, or I don't gamble like that or whatever. But I told you the NCAA, the core audience of college sports are what, for the lack of a better term, rules that believe, you know what I'm saying, in the myth of college sports, because it damn sure can't be the product on the court, man. You know what I mean? Like, what was that? I think the Kentucky game or whatever, or not the Kentucky, it was the Duke game last night. They scored like 90 points combined, man. Who the hell wants to watch that? There's teams in the Chicago Public League putting up 80, 90 points a game, man. I don't want to watch that bullshit, man.
Honestly, it's just more annoying. It's like, I feel like if you had a 3-game series, Kentucky's wouldn't be losing, Duke's wouldn't be losing. The teams that actually have foundation to go more than just one lucky game, they wouldn't probably ever lose. Probably be the same teams like they have in the NBA that's probably going to go up and win it all. Like, it takes more skill when you have to play a team night in and night out who gets used to your schemes and used to your favorite spots, or they can actually study you more and they have more time to prepare. It's like, that's a whole different game. So I think that's why people appreciate the NBA playoffs, I think, a little bit more, especially when it's good teams, not like a bunch of scrubs out there. After you get like the 8th seeds out of there, you get into the second and third round, it's pretty much everybody's locked in because these are teams that actually has a shot. At least other than the past couple of years with Golden State and Cavs, that was a whole different. That was like I don't know if we've ever had that since Michael Jordan.
These Eastern Conference playoffs gonna be a bloodbath, bro.
But this year,
I can't wait.
Remember, I still call Miami.
Yes,
I called Miami at the beginning of the year.
Hey, what's going on?
I called last year, bro. Ain't nobody give me props for that. That's some BS.
So, do you think the NBA? Do you think more sports should go to the one and done game frame?
Hell no.
Nah.
Where's the competition in that?
Yeah, and they would lose money.
What?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have, bro.
Yeah, but
the only reason you can do that in college is because of the Cinderella story. Like, that's the only good part about it is you get one so happen to get a chance to get a 15 seed all the way up to the Final Four or to win it. It's like that's the only good part of it is you have that chance.
Yeah, but that NFL is the most profitable model, man, and they only do a one and done. It ain't no best of 3 or best out of 7. It's one and done.
I think we know those teams are always for the most part, you're getting them at their best, though. The teams that make it to 10-6, or I'm sorry, whatever it is, we got an extra game now, 12-5, 13-4, whatever. We know we get the best teams. You know what I'm saying? It's rare that somebody backs in at 7-9 or 8-10, whatever it is, and hangs on. It happens occasionally, but for the most part, you're getting the best teams moving on for the most part. Like, you telling me right now, if I put Kentucky starting 5 in the damn export or the LA Fitness with St. Peter's top 5, they walking off that court. Now, come on, man. No, not at all, man. That's probably gonna get ugly without no damn reps.
So we're unmoved by some of these lower seeded schools, the Murray States, Loyola, Chicago, St. Peter's.
No,
going on these runs. Are we not moved?
It's overcoached. College basketball is overcoached as hell, and that's coming from a damn coach. It's overcoached, man. Like, and I blame it. That's another thing that you have the problem with college basketball. It's like college football and college basketball head coaches are God figures. So it's all about, what they wanted to do and their great plans. And that's how that's why they act a fool. You know, empower them, make them the most powerful damn people in the state. And then they act a fool on the court. Coach K telling the damn crowd, be quiet. Think about that. That man was in a stadium with 7,000 people and felt bold enough to tell y'all, shut the hell up while I tell y'all I love y'all. Like it's overcoached. And I think it actually holds the best teams back. You can do more like zones or whatever it is. How long is a shot clock? Like damn near like 55 minutes in college basketball.
You got like 35 seconds.
35 seconds.
So like it's not designed.
I think it's 30.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and they need to just bring it on down to 24 like that. Like there's they're having a big debate in Illinois. And then this will sound crazy to you, Hank, that they probably got a shot clock down there. We don't got no shot clock here in high school basketball.
No, we don't either.
So you had a team from Chicago go downstate, and the end game, I think, was 22-20 or 22-18 because there's no shot clock, and the other team just passed the ball around the perimeter for like 2-3 minutes at a time, running a motion, looking for a cut. Can you imagine sitting and watching that shit for 50 minutes, bro, 40 minutes? Like, but they do that on a bigger level in college basketball. Everything is over coach. We got these special rules to make the little guys be able to compete with the big guys, man. Like, I can't watch it, man. It's unwatchable.
Well, before we go, Jay sparked it in my mind. This may not have to be so formal, but how Jimmy Butler gonna tell Eric Spoelstra, you only relevant because of Dwayne Wade, and low key I'll whoop your ass? Like how? Like how? And then Udonis Haslam said, "Nah, fam, I'll whoop your ass out here." Like how? Miami Heat are the best team in the East, and they got that kind of huddle where Eric Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler look like they got to come to blows. I mean, what's going on with Miami? Is Jimmy Butler a toxic player? Is he about to be on his way out? What's going on with that?
Man, Jimmy about to get that unemployment check, I see.
Nah, I don't think so, man. Jimmy Butler is honest, man. Jimmy Butler is honest, and Pat Riley will appreciate that, and he works hard, so they're gonna get past that, man. But yeah, he's a savage for doing that the way he did it, but they're gonna get past that, man.
Amber, you see your son getting his coach face talking about y'all only good because I'm around here, and you in the stands. What do you do? What's your approach? You on mute. You muted.
The mama bear in me will want to get off the stands, but I will actually sit this one out. I would sit this one out and let my dad, handle it, because this is part of life. This is, part of what's going to make a man handling situations like this. And just my gut instincts will tell me just to sit this one out.
Avon, Coach D, your response.
Bro, one of the worst things as a coach is one of your players say some shit in a huddle that piss you off, but it's true, so you can't say shit. like you said, we're going to run this play. Like, that pro is bullshit, coach, and everybody knows it's bullshit. Stop running it. You be like, damn.
Oh, so Jimmy Butler didn't tell no lies. That's what you ain't lied at all.
So remember when he was up in Minnesota and he called Karl Anthony Towns? What was the other one that was up there? I forget who was
this on Golden State right now.
Andrew
Wiggins.
He called him soft. He told the GM, he said, these players are soft. I murder all of them, and they had to get rid of them. Are they still soft? They don't look like they're making a playoff run to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they worried about people getting their haircut on the sideline. You know what I mean? Like, Karl Anthony Towns is still butter ass soft. Jimmy Butler ain't never said nothing that wasn't untrue. He just be saying it at the wrong time.
Exactly.
So I mean, is he gonna be on the move? Do you want Jimmy Butler on not the Bulls? He was already there, even though he kind of had the same exit on the Bulls. He got the saying how he felt. He was in practice treating everybody lives, and now in the game, I'm sure he does whatever he want to do in the game whenever he wants to. So where's it gonna leave him? Because I'll take him on my favorite team other than the Bulls. He's still
I'll take him back on the Bulls, bro. Ain't nobody on the Bulls right now that I've taken a dark alley and think my back is okay. They're a bunch of damn choir boys, all
of them. Well, if it's me, I probably keep him 9 times out of 10 because I just think about people every day, right? Like, nobody's perfect. It's just a matter if you're in a position to be able to manage that person. And if you can manage it for the most part, then I think, sometimes people may fuck up. I was looking at their schedule. When did this exactly happen? What game was that?
This was 4 days ago.
Against Philly?
Was they playing against Philly?
I believe so.
Okay,
4 days
so
ago.
okay, so in that Philly game they won, right?
Yeah, they won that
Okay,
game.
yeah. So they won. They won against Houston on the 7th. Lost against Phoenix. Am I going backwards? No, hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. That was March 21st. They lost. But they lost that game, and then they lost against Golden State. They lost against New York, lost against Brooklyn. So they've lost like every game since then. I think I did see Jimmy Butler did put up some points, at least in one of those games. I have to go back and check the stats. But, like when you're in a position, when you talking that shit like that, and then like your team is losing and you're supposed to be the quote unquote leader, then I think that may be a humbling experience for him. And again, he just had an episode. Like Jimmy has always had these episodes. We've seen it's just a matter if it can be managed correctly. So I guess we're gonna see. But they on a losing streak right now since that game.
Is the championship this year gonna come out the East, or is it a bunch of pretenders? Because every time a team in the East look like they something, they hit some kind of really weird exposing skid that has everybody talking about the Warriors again, and definitely not the Lakers, but just the Western Conference in general. So do we even think that outside of maybe Milwaukee, that Philadelphia really has a chance, the Bulls really have a chance, Miami Heat, or are they just good because they're in the East?
I think we gotta look at the Warriors too, because the Warriors hit a skid too. They've been losing, so I just think it's just I don't know what it
They've
is.
been looking real frustrated out there.
Yeah.
Well, who's beating Milwaukee?
No, I'm saying outside of Milwaukee, like
but your question was do we think that the championship was going to come out the East this year? And you can't exclude. It's like excluding Golden State Warriors,
right?
Back in the day, you can't exclude them. They're there. So yes, I think this is going to come out the East because of Milwaukee. And I don't know who's going to beat that team.
You know what? I've been looking at.
You don't got nothing on the Nets. You think the Nets gonna crumble?
I don't think they're gonna. I mean, they probably got them. Kyrie, if you don't get hurt, KD, if you don't get hurt, maybe
they're not ready yet. And
like I said back in the day, the Nets' biggest enemy is the Nets themselves. It's nobody else. They got to show up, then they'll win for sure. But am I going to believe in the Nets showing up right now? No. I got to see it at this point. I can't just. It's not. I can't just be say so. So,
man, like I honestly been looking at Boston lately. Boston is 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6-game winning streak right now. I think it was a lot of conversation. They were looking shaky in the beginning, but I think they pulled themselves together and they're starting to show. I thought they was going to just be at the bottom of the East, to be honest, and they turned it around. I think that might be kind of interesting to keep an eye on them.
Hey, I'm riding with Phoenix and Milwaukee, man.
Yeah, I got Phoenix.
You got them two teams running it back. So now, so are you taking Milwaukee to win that then, or you think this is gonna be Phoenix year? DeAndre Ayton just came back.
I think it's gonna be Phoenix this time. Phoenix and 7, baby.
All right, we holding you to that one, Hank. You heard it here first.
I don't know, man. Like, as soon as playoffs come, I think we might have to put a little bet on the table for everybody. Might try to put together some squares or something. I don't know, something.
Yeah, we need to go back to that episode, man, where we made our predictions. Yeah. Go back to that episode.
I think some of those predictions might have changed. But best believe Anton and
gonna take my man had a bet. I don't know if he gonna come.
And JJ, they stay talking about they got a little bet going on.
I ain't seen my man since on the show.
Listen, whoever wins the bet just Uber eats me some food. That's it. That's all.
Hey, look, if they gotta wake up to that guy, they can Uber eat you nothing.
So if I'm not,
you're a good man now.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Kyrie can play tonight, right?
Yeah.
He's play against the Hornets. I mean, the Hornets are it's something kind of interesting to see if he can get into a nice rhythm. If they're going to be winning some games, because even if the games they've been losing on the road, I'm like, damn.
And they just changed the rules in New York, so I think he's gonna be eligible for the home game. So
yeah, so they play tonight at 6:30 Central Time. The Hornets against the Nets. So that might be a decent game to kind
The
of check
NBA
out.
needs to do whatever they need to do legally or illegally to make sure that Philly is in that 1 spot and Brooklyn is in that 8 spot. I don't care if they got to pay refs, trip players, break ankles, do what they have to do it. I need that in my life, man.
Bro, they're gonna do everything they can.
I need it so bad.
Anything they're gonna try to push that down around. You know what I mean? The second round, that'd be good because they wanna, because that might be too much. I mean, that's gonna be on every headline, every single game. Ben Simmons, what he's doing, getting booed and all of that. They're gonna milk that until that milk is dry, till that teeth is dry.
We still got these stupid ass playing games.
So, yeah, I don't care for that. I don't care for that at all, man.
Yeah, they still trying to make up for that money they lost doing that C19 season. So
don't nobody need to see the Hornets. We've seen enough.
All right, throw it back to you, JR.
All right, family. It's been a great show. Definitely appreciate you guys for coming out. Appreciate the panel, man. The panel was dynamic as usual. I have zero complaints. Never had a complaint. So I appreciate y'all for showing up. And
we don't cut each other off here on Lapeef Sports.
I mean, y'all gotta start throwing them little shots, man. Y'all be trying to throw it at everybody, man. We all a family, right?
Yeah, we family. Man. We family on Sunday, not on Thursdays, I guess.
Okay. Before everybody leave, before y'all start signing off of here, I need y'all to do a couple of things. The first thing is to make sure you guys go and hit the like button right now. Hit that like button right now, please. Hit it. It's free. Also, we are live in Houston. That link is in the description. It's the first link, should be up top right there. Click that link, get your tickets. We are limited in tickets officially. So go ahead and get it, because once it's gone, then it's just gone. The countdown starts. April is almost here. Got one more day, the 28th, and then it's the first of the month, y'all. So go ahead and get your tickets. Also, we do have Sage Talk with Lee. Who's a better wife to a man whore, a modest woman, or a 304? That is happening at 2 p.m. Central Time. That's within the next 50 minutes or so. That link is pinned to the top of the chat, so make sure you guys click that link, set the reminder. Come on out, man. Let's have a great show. Let's support Lee. Let's support everybody on the network. But Lee is the next one. Should be an interesting topic. I wasn't expecting that when I got there, but I'm curious to see what he got to say. So make sure you guys tap in. Again, that link is pinned to the top of the chat. Also, subscribe to the channel. And lastly, shout out to the sponsors, Teach Hanley. Make sure you guys go ahead and click that link too. That's in the description. Get yourself 30% off along with a free gift. The Teej works. Just look at Sway's skin. You can tell it's written all over right there. Sway felt the Teej.
No, that's what this way.
Sway felt the Teej, man. He got the baby face. Even when he believes, I know what Sway told y'all, but his real age, he's 42. But he just felt the Teej. So if that's not proof in the pudding right there, I don't know what, because ain't nowhere in the world somebody that young. Think about it. Somebody that young talking the way he talk. Come on now. Where they do that at? They don't make them like that. I don't know. We rarely see humans like that. So Sway is 42 and he's using that Teej, and that's why you have that younger look. So shout out to y'all again. Hit that like button. We appreciate y'all. Amber's been a delight. Shout out to Fuzzy. It's always a delight, man. She's good people's, man. So thank you for coming and bless the platform. All right, y'all. So I guess I'll see y'all over at Sage Talk, right? I don't answer that because I know some of y'all gonna lie to me already. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be right over there. Yeah.
I got a photo shoot. I got to work. I got a photo shoot right after this.
Well, I mean, just pull it up on your phone and press play. You can always start that one AirPod in. I don't want to hear no excuses. Y'all throwing all the excuses, but y'all not throwing some of the remedies. Okay, so you could be at a photo shoot and still listen. Yeah, I'm just saying, put it on for the people. Like, man, put y'all on. Let me. I don't know, y'all still got the pill. Y'all still got the pill? Like the
they still got them things.
Come on, now I got one. That shall come in handy, man. Especially on vacations. I got something for y'all. Pull it out.
So, JR, what do I look like doing a photo shoot with a woman and you hear Sage talk in the background?
Let me tell you this. He might turn you on to some game to find that right man for you. We're gonna get your man, baby.
Listen, I woke up with one cat. I woke up with one cat licking my toes and the other one sleeping next to me. And I woke up with that. Oh my God. This cannot be life.
My type of cat. My type of cat.
You got Pepe Le Pew at the house. Oh, no, that's a skunk. I'm sorry. I'm tripping.
All right, fam. Hit that like button. Appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday. Happy Sunday, y'all.
Happy Sunday.
You too, bro.
Sage Talk is next. Sage Talk. 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Click that link at the top of the chat right now. Who's a better wife to a man or a modest woman or a 304? Let's go. Shout out to the Lapeef Network. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Make sure y'all share the videos too, y'all. Appreciate the constant support. Thank you, Green Gang. I see you. Green Gang, I see y'all in the chat. Let me see them green shields. Go ahead, put them green shields on there. Shout out to Courtney Michelle. I see you. Shout out to the team. Let's go. Get your tickets. We are limited. Get your tickets for Houston. Go to get your tickets. Sage Talk with Lee, 2 p.m. Let's go. I see you, Stacy, with the Green Gang. Put them shields up, family. Put them shields up. Last track, y'all. Click that link, man. Go ahead and set that reminder for Sage Talk with Mr. Lee. My fault with Lee. He don't like to be called Mr. Lee. Let go. Hit that like button, family. Hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe so y'all not missing these shows, man. Let's go. Shout out to Amber. I see you, Brittney. That like button, subscribe. I see you, Tamika. Don't worry about if you missed this one. Catch it on the replay. Make sure y'all tap into that Sage Talk with Lee at 2 p.m. That link is pinned to the top of the chat right now. Click it. Set the reminder. Come on, family. Let's go. If you missed the banger, catch you on the replay. Shout out to the team. Let's go, y'all. Get them likes up. Come on. Yeah. Shout out to Teej, man. There you go. Hey, man. Hey, that show was crazy, man. Especially about them damn sundresses.
Man, you know, I've been sitting here thinking about that for a long time. I don't like the way they be disrespecting me about them sundresses, though. They don't understand how serious them things is, though, bro.
Bro, that shit is serious as hell, man. The way that shit be hugging. Hey, I gotta ask you something though. Real talk, real talk.
What's up? What's up?
You really have them sundresses?
I not only got a sundress, I was trying to I bought me a sewing kit the other day.
I know you lying, right?
I was trying to actually.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I was going to take the. Let's see. See, look, I was going to take the Louis Vuitton logo, and I was going to put it on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's almost ready though. And I'm learning how to sew though. But you know what I'm saying? That's either here or there.
Who would ever know, man? You got some hidden talents, man.
Hey, bro,
check your ass out.
I got a home. My homegirl, she own a business though. And then they actually, you know what I'm saying, they'll make anything that we present. You know what I'm saying? We can have like, you know what I'm saying, the Lapeef Network sundress.
Straight up?
Bruh.
Man, you bullshitting, man. You bullshitting, man.
Bruh.
Hey, that might be a good ass idea though. Real talk.
Look, say no more, man. I'm gonna make this phone call, cuz. Let me see what her number is.
Who you calling? You calling her?
Yeah, I mean, she got her own business. So let me see.
Shit, man. Let me see. Go ahead.
What is it under? Jump off clothing line. All right, here you go. Let's see. Hold on. I'm calling right now. I mean, hey, can you imagine the women in the Lapeef Network that wearing the Lapeef Network sundresses? Spring edition? Man, hold on, wait. Let me call her. Let's go. Let's see. I hope this right number. I hope she's out of business.
Your ass capping, man.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, thank you for calling Wholesale Clothing, where we sell sundresses for less so you can look your best. How can I help you today?
I don't know. We thinking about actually launching Lapeef Network sundress line. So can you help us with that?
I sure can. Okay, so what we can do is I can place an order for you on your behalf, and you just kind of let me know what you're looking for as far as color. I can email you a quote after this call is done. Would you like to buy bulk, wholesale, or per piece?
This is the problem we run into, right? So we got like a lady, like, you know what I'm saying? We got thick ladies, and then we got like little slim ladies, but we want it to fit everybody. But one thing that we don't want the water resistant. We want when water hit it, you know what I'm saying? It just
hang up, man. It's some bullshit, man. Can she hear me? Oh shit, my bad.
Hello, how you doing?
Are we on a three-way call? So would you like to call me back at a later time when it's better convenient for you? I am going to get you and your boyfriend over to the escalations department.
Oh, really?
What'd she say? What'd she say?
Oh, really?
Hold on. What'd she say?
She trying to play us, bro. Look, man, let us talk to your manager, man. I don't even want to talk to you no more because you probably, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what you is. You probably in the suburbs of Atlanta. Let me talk to your manager.
Would you mind if I place you on a brief hold while I try to get a supervisor on the line?
Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you for holding. Hello. Thank you for calling Wholesale Clothing, where we sell sundresses for less so that you can look your best. My customer service rep on the line told me that you're having a problem placing an order. How can I assist you today, sir?
Ooh, you my type. I'm telling you, look, check this out. You my type already. Look, that little chick that we had talked to earlier, you need to get rid of her. You my type, baby.
Okay, well, at the end of this call, there is a brief survey, but if you would like for me to take a complaint, I can do that also. So what I have on the list so far is you are looking for some sundresses for the fit, the slim, non-water resistant, and you want all colors?
We want
now,
all
would
colors.
That be on one dress or you want multiple pieces, sir?
Because
it's going to take all day to do nothing.
Ooh, I like you. Look, check this out.
Don't she?
We want it. Whatever you're wear, that's what we want. You are a type of audience. So we want whatever
you
wear.
Want form fitting? Do you want knee length? Do you want ankle length? Do you want booty short length? Like what is it that you're looking for,
We
sir?
want all lengths, baby. All lengths. You know what I'm saying? We want easy access. So we want
focus, Logic. Focus. Get the dress, man. Damn.
All right, look, baby, check this out.
Ass.
Look.
Just City Boys down, man.
It sounds like you need a dress with shoulder pads too.
Shoulder pads? What we need shoulder pads in the dress for, baby?
Because, you might got somebody else on the line that might want to get into a dress too. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Hey, she can hear me?
Yeah, she can hear you, bro. I told you on three-way.
What'd she say? What'd she say?
Oh no, she said you trying to get in a sundress.
We can put in it too if you want that. That's a specification that we can add.
Oh, hold on. I can hear you now. Hold on. Who you talking to?
Okay, first of all, sir, there needs to be one person that's placing the order. Are you going to be issuing the credit card that we're going to be using to place the order? I need to speak to the person that's going to be giving the credit card.
Hang up, man. I ain't about to argue with no damn chick. Man, hang up.
No, look, man, we need to make these sundress orders.
I want to wear a sundress with shoulder pads.
Look, check this out, baby. Check this out. Look, check this out, baby. Check this out.
Mm-hmm.
You from East Atlanta, right? That what y'all business at, right?
So, hell no, I'm from College Park.
Okay, College Park. That's even better. Look, I'm finna go in and send you this dick pic right now. And I see this dick pic. And then now,
excuse me?
You heard what I said?
Why would you be sending a heterosexual woman a dick pic when it's two men? I don't care talking about they looking for dresses, trim, non-water resistant, all colors, and easy accessible. Look, I'm not your type, sir, and I definitely don't think I'm your demographic that you would like to purchase these dresses for.
You is my type, you my demographic, and if you want this Spun Davis dinner, you'll act right. Is that what you want? Hey, get right, ma'am. Let us do this sundress orders, and then we gonna talk, and then we gonna come back with you later. Is that fine with you?
Okay, so thank you. Please stay on the line for a brief survey.
Hit that like button, family. Let's go. Catch Sage Talk at 2 p.m., family. That was a little skit that me and Logic had did.